gamers, and welcome to episode 472 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. I'm one for try that again. Hello gamers, and welcome to episode 472 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 5th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
There's a lot going on this week, man. A lot of stuff going on. Let's get right into it. So in sporting world, I guess because I put the podcast out too late, y'all did not root hard enough for the Orioles, and they got swept by Kansas City again.
Royals.
They have lost, I
Bane
think,
of our
like
existence.
9 playoff games in a row. If you go back to when they were, even before last year, to when they were last in the playoffs, they had lost because they lost it 4 straight to the Royals. Then they lost that 1-game series to Toronto. Then they lost last year 3 games straight to Texas Rangers. And now they lost 2 games straight to the Royals. And thing is, here's the thing. Like, if it was like, hey, it was a slugfest or something where runs were scored, but hey, we just couldn't come out on top. Or like the pitching didn't do as great. Because our pitching, that's what's hurt. Like, that's where our injuries are, is our pitching.
Yeah.
That would be like, okay. Like, look, man, we just got to work on pitching. Nope. The bats did not bat. I mean, they were freaking cold at all. I mean, our pitching was excellent. We only gave up 3 runs in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
We lost 1-0 in the first game. We lost 2-1 in the second game. Cedric Mullins was like the only guy really hitting, and it was just bad. I mean, we could not move. Hey, at one point we did have bases loaded and couldn't get a goddamn run. It was looking like the last 2 months have been like this. Like ever since the All-Star break, which is like the end of July. It's been we just can't hit, and I don't know what happened. Like, I honestly don't know what happened. One of those things I say could be missing is some veteran presence, probably. Like, we don't have, like I look at other teams, like, they have some people who've been there, like, years. Like, we got a guy who's been there for 10 years, our catcher. Though he's been on our team for 2, but that's fine. I mean, you don't need a guy who's been on the team for a long time. You see a guy who's been familiar with the whole MLB experience. But you need not just one guy, and who's to say, I don't know if he's that guy that's talking, not everybody is, but we don't have enough. Sometimes you need more than one. Like just somebody who's just with experience. Because some teams, like the Nats, when the Nats won, like one of their biggest clubhouse guys wasn't even a guy who started. It was just it's a guy who comes off the bench, but he was a good clubhouse guy that really got them pumped up. And it really fired them up. And sometimes you need that. And I'm guessing the Orioles maybe they didn't have that. And last year, it was a little easier because everybody was just new. I mean, not everybody, but they had a lot of new guys. It was just like a new experience, and they were just kind of riding high on that. Mm-hmm. And now, there's expectations. Like last year, we expected to be good because we ended the season 2 years ago kind of good, but we didn't expect to be great as we were. Like win over 100 games, that was ridiculous. We didn't expect that at all. Now expectations are a little higher now because like, hey, we got these young guys and stuff, but you know what? We didn't have that veteran presence, but we thought what we had was somewhat of enough. I mean, we had some pitching. We had an ace pitcher who did great for us this year. But we only got him for this year. I mean, after this, he's a free agent. I don't know if we're going to get him back or not. He did his job. He gave up 1 goddamn run last game. But I don't think he expected it to be on a team with a bats with Cole. I mean, this team, hell, at one point, and I mean, I don't even know what the ending stats are. We were leading in home runs. I don't know if it ended that way, but I bet you we're still like top 10. Maybe we might be still top 5. I'm not sure. But because of the first half of the year, we were just awesome. Scoring. And then, like, the time when we needed our bats to not be like this, because our pitching got hurt, they start going cold. But then the most shocking thing is just that our pitching is still holding it down. We're still holding it down. Maybe our bats will start warming up, and then we really can start kicking ass again. Never happened. So it's so disappointing just how this happened. Like, darn, I remember years of the Orioles. This was never a problem. Like, I never, like, the back when the O's were good in the 2010s, like, with Adam Jones and them, Markakis, Weeders and stuff, and things of that nature, they were hitting and they were getting runs. Our problem was that we were getting up a whole lot of runs because our pitching couldn't even last like 5 innings sometimes. And that was the issue. I just never imagined this issue. I always thought pitching was always going to be the problem because that seemed like always the hardest thing to get. That's what everybody wants. Like, everybody, you will always go for a pitcher over a hitter. And now we got 2 people who are going to be gone. We got Santander, our biggest bat. Though average-wise, he's not that great, but he got 44 home runs. Which, like I said, that's fine if you got other guys hitting. Like, you'll take that. Like, that's a gift. You just didn't expect the other bats to go cold like that. And then you got Burns, who we just picked up for this year, and he did great. He's a Cy Young contender. Just unfortunately, he got a loss on giving up 1 run. I mean, that's ridiculous in the playoffs. And so I was asking which one you would keep. It's obvious. You go for the pitcher always. It's like, this is not even a question. Like not that you dislike Santander, it's just that Burns is a pitcher and he's been awesome. He's the reason why we studying freaking games. I mean, like I said, a great pitcher is a lot harder than a hitter. So I would keep him, but the thing is, it's I mean, he could probably ask for some big money because he had a great year. And are the Orioles going to pay that? Can they afford that? I don't know. And then even if they could, will he want to come, or will he be like, hey, are y'all going to get any other bats to come? Because that seemed to have a problem hitting that second half of this year, you know? And like, I just want some people to, support me when I'm out there. Yeah. When I'm throwing like 7 innings, like 1 or 2 runs or something. And so, or no runs. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting off season to see. I mean, I expect guys to be better than what they were. So there's that. But it's like, darn, we did the trade deadline. Yeah, that turned out to be not that great. Like, we either didn't get enough, the thing is that we got the pitcher that we got for the trade deadline. I think only one guy he didn't do that very well. But the other 2, Dominguez and Eflin, they did great. And Eflin, he is going to stay with us another year. We still have another year on the contract from the trade. He was great the second game. The second game, he only gave up, I think he gave up the 1 run or the 2. I don't forget how many he gave up, but still, he held it down. And it's like, darn, our 2 pitchers held it down. We just couldn't score. And it's just unfortunate. So the Royals, good luck to them because they're playing the Yankees, and I hope they beat the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
The Royals, they do have a great hitter in Bobby Witt Jr., who got them the only one in the first game. He's up for, I mean, if it wasn't for Judge hitting as many home runs as he does, Bobby Witt Jr. will be up for MVP. Like, it's between him and Judge for MVP. But, and Bobby Witt Jr. has only been in for 3 years. Hell, and Judge, you know what? As much as we talk about Judge, I think Judge only been here for 5, maybe 6 years. And he was injured for, like, most of 1 year. And then you got COVID that happened in 2020. Like, Judge has just been, he's still young. He's just freaking awesome. And, yeah, like, I hope it's a good series, but I hope it's a series that the Royals win. Because I do not want the Yankees versus the Dodgers. I do not want both of those powerhouses just playing each other. It was like, oh God, MLB is just getting that money. I don't need that. Like, I maybe one of them. I'll take one of them. If I ever take one, just give me one. Do not give me both. And but like I said this before, like the playoffs are, but I said I think it's going to be Cleveland and the Phillies. I think I'm going to stick with that, Cleveland and Phillies, to win it. As of this podcast, neither team has played yet because they had their byes. They're actually I think Cleveland is number one. I don't know. I don't know who's number one between them and the Yankees. Honestly, I don't know. But but I know the Phillies are number two behind the Dodgers as far as records. Mm-hmm. Dodgers are hurting their pitching. Their starting pitchers kind of hurt. That's why I think they're not going to make it. And then even still, it's just that they always seem to lose. Like I said, the only one they won is the COVID championship. All the other ones they lost, and they had the best team on paper all those years. So yeah, they got Tawny now, which is good that he's in the playoffs finally. That's great for baseball. So that but I'm not rooting for him. I'm not rooting for them, unfortunately. Like I said, I wish Tawny went to the Giants. If he was going to stay in California and wanted to stay in a city that will just at least be appealing, like I was happy he went to the Angels. It's just unfortunate the Angels did nothing while he was there. Yeah. That's what pissed me off. It's like, damn, I would rather have y'all at least gone to the playoffs a few times and stuff, man, because I don't want the Dodgers. It's just like, because that's the real Los Angeles team, and I don't want that. I don't want them to get him. They got to get somebody else. And it's like, now he's in the Dodgers. It's like, oh, damn it, why can't you go to San Francisco, man? Come on. So yeah, so that sucks. But I mean, go for overall baseball, and yeah, that's the teams. Well, those are the teams I'm really rooting for. I think they're going to win. Like the team, I guess I'm rooting for. I would say Royals, but they beat us and they won a few years ago, and this makes me piss me off. I'll probably root for San Diego because Machado. Machado, I still like him. Former Oreo. He's not a dick as he used to be. He's apparently a nicer guy now.
Well, that's good.
And like what the Padres have done this year seems to be really great. Like their clubhouse is great. I'm jealous of that. Like it's like, oh, this is what I want the Orioles to be, which I thought they were, but I don't know what happened this year. But yeah, they really come back big. I mean, they have like one of the top records in baseball. Like they won 9+ games. Just the Dodgers won a few more. But yeah, and they're playing against. Are they playing against the Dodgers? Right? Yeah, they played against the Dodgers. So, man, I'm hoping. Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping that they'd come out and just beat them, and just for the Dodgers fans to be upset and say like, "Darn, man." They'll be delusional and say they won one World Series through these years, even though nobody else counts it. nobody else counts it. Like somebody said, if your team would have won, you would have counted it. I mean, some people, yes, some of those people would. They would count it, but so what? It's still stupid. It's still. It's still stupid. It doesn't feel real. Like honestly, the Oilers had won that tournament. Well, you know what? If we would have won that championship, everybody would be like, "Okay, this isn't
legitimate." Yeah, I mean, especially at that time. Come on.
Yeah, that was like we sucked.
We had no right winning that tournament. That would have been insane.
Yeah. So no, I would not. But I mean, I would just be like, "Hey, we upset all these people in this tournament." That's all I would have said. I would have said like a World Series championship or something. Yeah, so that's it for baseball. So what we got? I know WNBA's playoffs been going on. I haven't really been paying attention to it, but I know that Caitlin Clark did win Rookie of the Year. Oh, okay. Her team was in the playoffs, but they got kicked out the first round.
Oh wow!
But good for her because they were obviously they were in last place last year because that's why they got her, and now they she got them to the playoffs. So. Good on her. I know Chicago Sky are playing the Las Vegas Aces. I believe they won last night, so I think they're up in the series. And the other side is not Las Vegas Aces. I think it's Connecticut Sun. The That's Chicago Sky, and I said the wrong thing anyway. All right, I was wrong on both fronts. It was the New York Liberty. I'm sorry, because I'm thinking about Chicago Sky because their coach got fired.
Oh, really?
Chicago Sky, yeah, and that was the first year, unfortunately, too. It kind of sucked because people were a little complaining about that, saying they didn't really give him much of a chance. But anyway, New York Liberty are playing. No, Lynx. I'm sorry, the Lynx are playing the Sun.
Yeah,
And
Minnesota Lynx are playing the Connecticut Sun, and the New York Liberty are playing the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, they're playing the Aces. Yes, so that's how that. I don't get that because I guess it's not an East and West thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's kind of confusing. Because if anything, I would think it would be the other way. Like Lynx would be playing the Aces,
right.
and yeah, the Liberty would be playing the Sun. So I'm like, yeah, I guess they don't do an East West kind of thing here. I think they might just do it by ranking, probably like record wise. Maybe they do that since there's not that many teams.
Right.
That's how they probably do it. Yeah. I think my brother was saying that he thinks the Lynx are going to win it all. He said that for like some weeks ago, though, like before the actual tournament started.
That's still impressive because it's the first time I've ever heard of this team.
Oh, okay. What else? Football, man, football. So, yeah, I'm in a weird place now because my team is doing great. And it seems like we got a star quarterback of the league. People are talking about him kind of like almost a little over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
With the RG3. It's like I got that feeling again.
Hope
like
they don't have a game against the Ravens coming up soon. Uh-oh, they do on the 13th.
Well, they do. Yes, they do. On the 13th, too. Oh, my God. Bitch them. Just bitch them that game. Oh, it could be bad. It could go either way. Both quarterbacks would just get hurt.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson and him. Oh, that would totally suck. And the right people are like, yes. Take them out.
No.
Let's stop.
Finally, we get our opportunities.
All right. So yes, Jayden Daniels. Yes, yeah, that's his name. He is really lighting up, man. Like he's been looking great for this team. I mean, it's been so impressive how this offense moved. When I watched that Monday night game. Because that was the first one I actually watched from like start to finish of the Washington. Because other weeks, I've been watching Red Zone, so I only see them at the end of Red Zone, and like all they did was kick field goals in that Giants game. So when I watched him on that Monday night game, and like how he just went down the field and just light up the freaking Bengals, it was incredible. And then when I watched then they played Sunday. And I watched them then, and like they played against Arizona. It was like, what the hell is this? Like they were like Arizona came down and scored first, and then they gone down and scored, and then they just stopped them. And I thought like our defense was actually good.
Yeah. Like
for this game. So it's like we were dominating, and this is like people were just talking now because it's like, wow, this team offense has just been lighting up, and we finally did punt that game, and we finally he finally threw an interception too, but it didn't matter. Man, I don't know. Like someone said, who's a Washington fan, they were like, man, the end times are coming. Because of how good this guy is. Like, he is so poised, man. Like, he is like... And then people say they think, because he played like 52 or 57, I forget. Like 50 plus college games starting as a quarterback in college. Like, people don't usually play that much. Because they either if they come in really good, they either leave, probably a little earlier, so they probably don't get as many starts, or they will be either redshirted or they'll sit out for the first year, or they might play a couple games because they're backing up a senior or something like that, like they're just a freshman. Like it'll come in. Like he played for like 50 some games, and so he has a ton of experience in that position. And the way offenses are done in college now is very comparable. It's closer to NFL than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
And the style they're running, I know somebody said that, like, I think it was a player who was on the Bengals saying, like, oh, they just run a college offense. So, like, I'm basically always saying, like, they should be okay with that, and they lit them up. They lit the defense up. But it's just, it all working. Like, it's all working on cylinders. He's getting passes. Like, he can pass in the pocket if he needs to. I mean, he can throw the ball. And, I mean, they said he holds the record right now. I mean, like, it's one of those records where you really have to go deep in. But it said for 4 games, there's never been a quarterback that had the highest percentage of throwing passes that he has. Like anybody, not just a rookie, anybody. And that, and it's a minimum of 20-something passes, like at least 20 plus passes for minimum. And yeah, and he's been doing great. And like he can run. I mean, our offense has been working smooth. I mean, you got to give it to the coaching staff, too. The coaching staff seems to be awesome that we have. It's like it's just a new day. It's like a new day of this. And this is a little different because with, now, like, I think excitement is just the same as when RG3 started. Though we didn't start 3-1. We didn't start with winning 3 straight games, like right. Losing the first game, then lose the street they games. We won the first game. I think we lost the second one. I don't know if we won the third, but I think we lost the third one too. I think we won. I think we got to 3-3, and then we had lost like a few in a row, like 3 in a row, I think, and we give 3-6, and then we went on a big winning streak and got to the playoffs. We'll see. Like right now, we're about to play. Well, as this podcast, we would have had played the Browns. And hopefully we do well against them. I mean, the Browns overall are not a good team, basically because of their offense. And basically because of their quarterback. They're going to get their running back, I believe. So that could be trouble for our defense. Our defense is not good. I'm not going to go by that one game. One game we did good the last game, but we'll see. You got to be consistent on defense. And thing is, their defense is good. So this is a big test for Daniels. See how well he does against at least that defense. And then after that, we got the Ravens. Like that's the game that's gotta be like game of the week for that week.
Yeah.
Because you talk about 2 exciting quarterbacks. I mean, like the up-and-comer. They got the 2-time MVP. I mean, that's looking good. So yeah, man, I'm just like I'm living it and saying, hey, man, at least it's not like last year when the Orioles lost in the playoffs, and I was like, oh, what I got now? Oh, the horrible Commanders, and I was like, oh, yeah. Well, then I'm pretty much done until next year, because the Wizards wasn't going to do nothing. So I was like, well, I guess I have to wait till next Orioles season. So now at least I got football to look forward to. Now, so that's good. So yeah, so I will only have a break during basketball season. But yeah, so other than that, yes, some surprises. You have the Vikings be undefeated. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
The Kansas City is winning, but they're not winning really great or anything. Like last year, they were kind of doing that too, but now it's even looking worse. But they're still winning. Like I said, I am not counting them out until they are, out the playoffs.
Yeah.
that is it.
Until Tom Brady's beat them again.
Yeah, so, oh yeah, and it was something with Tom Brady, because he was doing the commentating for the, oh my goodness, I'm getting scared, because I got the Silent Hill 2 playing, and shit looks scary right now. I'm trying not to look at the TV. All right, so Tom Brady was commentating during the Bucks game. And there was a comment because somebody had done an interview with the current Bucks quarterback, Baker Mayfield, and he was saying that, he was really saying that the coaches or people behind the scenes, whatever, they were saying that, hey, because the guys were pretty uptight, when Tom was here and playing like with a lot of pressure. They want me to come here to kind of loosen these guys up, and things of that nature. And then Tom, but they only play like a clip, so it just sounds probably worse than what it should sound. Or if you think it's bad, I don't know. I don't really think it's bad, but whatever. But Tom was saying that, I thought the pressure was not winning Super Bowls. So I said, if I wanted to have fun, I'll take my kids to Disneyland. And people were agreeing with Tom and things of that nature. And yeah, I get it, because it's like, hey, he's trying to come here to bring a winning culture and stuff like that here. So you try to win, but also the whole bring your kids to Disneyland. Someone said, well, if you would have said, maybe you could do both. And maybe you should have took it. You know what? Maybe you should have took kids to Disneyland, and maybe you would have gotten divorced.
Rough.
So maybe that was the problem. So he was like, maybe that was the problem. you said maybe that was the problem, man, because you kept taking football too serious. You kept not leaving your family. Oh, but yeah, that's the thing. Somebody said, I don't want Baker to be Tom. He could just be be him. I mean, you don't have to be that. But a lot of ex-players who have what they say, you always be on eggshells and stuff like that. But there were some players who said you didn't either. They were saying when they didn't feel like they were on eggshells. It's like, it all depends. Everybody's different. It's like whatever. But yeah, it was just funny. But that Tom Brady so far, he's meh as a commentator. And I'm tired of people saying, you know what, he's just starting, so he'll get better and stuff like that. So, okay. So until he gets better, I'm going to say he's bad. I mean, I just don't get...
Sure.
People always defending people.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. And, I never understood that. He's not your friend. You can defend on something if there's a criticism that's really unjust. And, listen, based on this, I'm just saying so far he hasn't been good. And there's a lot of people who said that. And then I've seen on the internet, I see a lot of people just saying, oh, maybe I didn't listen to the game. And then people say, oh, Tom was a whole lot better this game. It's like, oh, yeah, Tom, you did great and stuff. And all these people just kissing his ass. And then I was like, okay, maybe he did. But then this is the people who really legitimately kind of just not criticize. They're critics as far as they really pay attention to the commentating. It hasn't been good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, because the ones I listened to two of his games. They haven't. They've been he doesn't really bring anything new to the table. The guy he replaced, the guy he replaced is technically still there. He's just not getting the big games like he used to. I am glad that he's doing our game though this week for the Browns. So it's yeah. His name is I forgot his name. He used to be a tight end for the Carolina Panthers, but he's been great. As far as football information and dealing out and talk about plays and stuff like that, I think he's been great. I think he's been awesome. I know my friend Flood said he didn't like him. I think just because of one thing he said, and then when I said, oh, just because of the one thing, then he's going on internet searching shit just to find something wrong. I said, Foot, you can do that for anybody, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, good God. I was like, I don't take these commentators that sit, I don't know, people do. People, they have to be obviously bad. It's so obvious that I can just hear them say something bad. I was like, damn, they horrible. If you're not obviously bad or just born, basically, the only reason I know Tom Brady is not that great is because it's Tom Brady. If he was just a normal dude, I would just be like, this guy's all right. I don't hate him. Like I said, he's not... Tom Brady's not, I wouldn't say he's bad. He's just blah. For how much they're paying this dude, it's why? What? I don't care. You can get anybody to say what the fuck he just said. So, it doesn't bring anything. It doesn't bring anything more to the game for him to be there. Mm-hmm. I remember somebody said Joe Montana used to be a guy, and he turned out to be not that good. So you say it doesn't mean so Tom Brady could be That too. That's his idol too. So maybe he's just as boring. He just, but yeah. So, but other than that, I know Ravens been looking good. They just beat up on the Bills, who were looking like the top team in the NFL at one point until they played the Ravens, until they played a real team. Then they got beat up on. Yeah, and because Ravens, they looked a whole lot better than how they started. The NFL is just one of those leagues. It's a week-to-week league. You just don't know what the hell you're going to get. But yeah, and good, interesting season so far. I'm just glad my team is doing well. All right, what else we got here? I think that's it. So, wrestling, you got a pay-per-view today, as of this podcast is today?
Yeah, as of recording this, Bad Blood comes on this afternoon. That's WWE's latest pay-per-view. I think I talked last week mostly about the biggest matches, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in Hell in a Cell, and Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. One of the bigger news stories out of wrestling this week, though, is that AEW has signed their new TV deal, and along with that, they're going to be streaming their shows, their weekly programs, not their pay-per-views, on Max. So I'm excited about that. And then, of course, WWE has their Raw deal with Netflix and their NXT deal with CW. I actually hooked up Antenna this week to see what channels I could get. I unfortunately cannot get the CW. I can get Fox, of course, now that SmackDown is no longer on Fox. So that's not really doing me any favors. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to end up using it much. We ended up watching on Fox, there's a show called like Crime Scene Kitchen or something, hosted by Joel McHale. And it's basically like these groups of bakers and chefs and stuff. They go into this like setup kitchen and they have to go around and see if they can figure out what was made in the kitchen based on like thrown away wrappers and stuff left out on the counter. It was kind of a neat concept, but it's really interesting to see these shows that I have not heard of ever, and also to watch a commercial, because I haven't seen like regular TV commercials in a very long time. And man, you sure do get a lot of just medication commercials nowadays. I mean, I guess that's always kind of been a thing, but like every commercial break had at least one new medication that we needed to take. Yeah. So, but to get to the wrestling stuff, AEW finally having a place where their catalog will live. That's been a pretty big deal for me, is like, if you miss a show, there really isn't a place for you to go back to and watch them. I'm glad they're finally going to have that. And it's nice.
That's why
that
they invented VCRs, Daniel.
As far as the pay-per-views go for them, unfortunately, it sounds like maybe you'll get them at a discounted price through Max, but it's not going to be like an all-inclusive package, which kind of sucks. There's still rumors out there that they're also going to have a TV show on Fox, but it'll be like FS1, not Fox proper. Yeah, so that's I'm excited for Bad Blood tonight. We'll see how things go coming out of that. And yeah, and then AEW has their Wrestle Dream pay-per-view, I think next week. And that should be pretty good as well, because I think the headline match of that is going to be Mox versus Bryan Danielson. It's most likely going to be Bryan Danielson coming out of that as the winner, because he's basically said he's retiring from full time after he loses that title.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think the goddamn on Solid Hill, man. Let me finish this thing.
Yeah, although it's weird because like Mox is in a place where they're doing this kind of like takeover situation with the Blackpool Combat Club, so I don't know what kind of wonk style finish you get there to make sure he doesn't lose. But yeah, it also seems like a lot of people are speculating that this is going to lead to Shane McMahon coming into AEW. And I'm not totally against that as long as he's used in a proper way. I don't necessarily want to see him wrestling. but as kind of this like figurehead.
But
for
he has
this
to prove
new
it to his
faction.
father.
He's. I mean, I don't know how Vince would feel about this at this point. Like he's so divested from WWE. I don't know that he cares that Shane would show up on, the competitor's show or whatever. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Time out.
Yeah.
The competitor. He's on. Okay, I must have.
Yeah, there's a chance that he may show up on AEW.
Oh my God.
That is what the rumors are. So yeah. I mean, it's not entirely surprising. I mean, especially like coming out of the doc, the Netflix Mr. McMahon thing. It very much feels like, I mean, especially now that Shane is not the guy that took over the WWE and was at one point very much seemingly the guy that wanted to do that. I don't necessarily think it's surprising that he's trying to maybe forge his own path while remaining in wrestling in some way. And if Tony Khan's giving him that opportunity while also probably paying him, pretty well, I'm not entirely surprised that he's taken that opportunity. So
he's trying to he's trying to destroy it from the inside.
Maybe. It's going to be like there's a McMahon's name on this contract, but it's not Shane McMahon. And then Vince comes out with his little tiny mustache.
His dyed mustache and dyed hair.
Yes.
Looks so weird.
It is incredible that they recorded all that stuff for the documentary, and at no point did they have the mustachioed Vince, being the one that it was being interviewed. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah,
maybe he saw the recordings of that and realized how bad he looked and was like, I've got to go full on Ricky Ricardo here.
Wait, you think he looks better?
No, I don't think he looks better, but I think he could think. I could see him thinking he looked better.
I think he looks better. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
with that dyed ass. I was like, dude, if you're going to grow some hair, like, just let it grow natural. Because I'd rather have the pepper gray or gray, peppered white,
the
whatever.
Dignified look.
Yeah, then, like, you got to dye. Like, because you just look like, I don't know. It's like you still look old. You just look weird. You already look weird. Like whatever you do, whatever you
look like
face,
a villain that's going
to
tie someone to a train track.
Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does.
He was like, give me the Salvador Dali look.
All right, so that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man. So let's get into what we were watching. So I finished the Rings of Power. I didn't even realize the season was over.
I saw an advertisement for the series finale, and I was like, didn't that just start?
And because I watched about 2 episodes, and I was still thinking like, oh, let me just see, let me just watch some episodes, and then I just kept it on. Because I just got to watch. Because I do like it. It's an alright show. I think it's done very well. It's got some. I mean, there are some problems, but those problems that other people have just doesn't really matter to me. Really, I'm not even talking about the problems of diversity shit. Like that's not a problem. Like that's not if there's a real issue with the show, it's not that. Because I could give a fuck what those fucking things look like. I mean, I call the Hobbit things, but there are things. There are things. Yeah.
How dare you?
It's like, but everywhere is diversity. Blah blah blah. Like that's not a real issue. Like maybe just like the issue. I'm trying to think. Like I probably is just. I mean, I can see somebody just saying it's boring. I can see that. But I don't know. It's fine to me. Like it's a fine, well done show. Like after me paying attention to what the fuck was going on, I was like, okay, I understand it. I can watch it. Like at first, I wasn't paying attention to it. Like when the first season happened, so I wasn't like fully invested. And then I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is boring. But then I finally start like really just watching it and really looking at it. I was like, okay, it's all right. So yeah, and it's done. The music's done well, like everything. And that final battle, which was like maybe 2, 3 episodes, that was really good. Like it felt like the Lord of the Ring battles, how they were in the movies,
Oh,
how they
cool.
were kind of like those battles were kind of long, but they had pauses, at the right place. So it wasn't like straight up action all the time. Like there was stuff happening while the battle was going on. Um, the whole thing with Sauron. I mean, I think some of that stuff, that's what goes over my head. It's like the in depth stuff of like Sauron and like why he's like I kind of know overall why he's doing what he's doing, but there's some things I think I'm missing, like some deeper things, and of course of the other lead bad guy on the orc side because he doesn't like Sauron, and the orcs technically don't want to work for Sauron because they feel like he controls them and does things. And yeah, but when the orcs traded, I think he traded on the guy because, well, spoiler alert. I see. Me to me, I think reason why he became a traitor to the current leaders because and went to Sauron's because the guy was kind of treating them what Sauron was treating them years ago because like fodder like because when the guy was telling him like don't bring out the troll like because the troll kills our people too.
Yeah.
It's like but the guy was just like he just felt like it was a means to an end like hey if they die but they need it. And I guess he just saw like you don't care about us, so what's the difference? So he said, "I'm going to go to Sauron then." But then it seemed like Sauron was going a different path, but then Sauron didn't care about him either. So, and like the orcs, like they make the orcs somewhat sympathetic in a way, which is different. I don't know how people will feel about that, but whatever. I'm okay with it. I don't care. Like they're still kill humans and stuff. Like they're still bad, but they're also, you see that, hey, they want to be independent. Like they want to be their own thing. They don't want to be controlled like that. Like it's one thing, like you go to march an army, but you still, it's a purpose. Your purpose is not just for this guy to use you, because like Sauron's like he's using them. He don't care about them. He's just using them for his own thing, his own purpose, which is, that's what I'm trying to get. Like, is Sauron's purpose just to kill everybody, so he can start? He's trying to start a new creation, or what? Or he's just trying to defy God? Well, their version of God, because it's like he always reminds me like, is he supposed to be like Lucifer? And he was like against some, and I have to see the history on that. Yeah, but Rings of Power, I finished the second season. It's pretty good. I'm curious what's going to come first, Rings of Power season 3, or the House of Dragon season 3.
No, probably Rings of Power, unfortunately.
All right, so what we got here? Asphalt City, I watched. There's a movie that came out in 2023 with Sean Penn and the guy who led Ready Player One. Well, the Ready Player One guy is actually like the main character. Sean Penn is like probably like the lead co-actor. So it deals with the paramedics. Like this guy, he's a part-time paramedic who is going for I think he's trying to be a doctor. But I think at the end of the movie, he's something else. I'm not gonna spoil it. Yeah, it deals with like he's in New York. He's a paramedic in New York, and basically like the most dangerous parts of New York, like there's like gangs and stuff. Like that's the area he kind of works in. Well, that's the areas they focus on anyway. Put it like that, and like basically like the dreaded life of a paramedic of being like not being with like people not being thankful for him and stuff. They feel like they're helping and earn, and like you see Sean Penn, he's just like a beaten down man who just, hey, he does his job, but then he just doesn't give a shit. And then you see another guy who's kind of the same way also, and how they react to certain people saying like, hey, these people like it's just gang members. Like, it don't matter. Like, you just do your job. If you don't get it done, so what? Like you save his life, not a big deal, or whatever. Um, it's okay. It's not that great, and I think it didn't get rated that great. I think it's like 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. So almost like 50% basically. Like 50-50. It's like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, some of the scenes where they're kind of in between where he's working and like when he's home and or with his girlfriend and stuff. It's like it's almost like a dream. Feels like. I mean, I know they're going for something here. Is one of those artful things that somebody who's really into film can say, like, "Oh, this is meaning like this is like his best time," or I don't know. I fucking don't know. But I don't get that. But overall, I mean, it's okay. But it's not what I thought. It's not what I thought it was really going to be. Man, it really. I get from this is that like don't get hurt in the bad part of town because the paramedics are dicks there. And well, if you're a white guy, I mean, I guess
get hurt wherever
you're all
I
right.
want.
Yeah, you're all right. I just can't get hurt there in the city.
I was just here as a mistake.
What else have I watched? Oh yeah, I guess. Well, we could talk about you. Well, no, because we talk about both. Because I saw Penguin also. So Mr. McMahon. So I finished that series, and I mean the documentary series, and you finished it. And after watching it, I liked it. I thought it was a fine documentary. I learned a lot of things from this because I don't know like all the behind the scenes stuff from wrestling. I was never that big a wrestling fan I didn't care about their lives outside of wrestling. Sure. I mean, it was just them on the screen and that's it. Like I didn't know and well, to this day technically, even though you said it, I don't remember their real names. So I just know her names on the show.
Yeah.
But so watching this and learning all like behind the scenes stuff that happened in wrestling was cool to know the good and the bad. But like after this, like what you think of Vince McMahon, but I get what you're saying that, hey, it seems more of a WWE documentary than a Vince McMahon documentary, and I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, despite the fact that Bruce Pritchard was on there talking about how like it was like a hit piece. I mean, really, those first 3 episodes that we talked about last week, like it celebrated what he created.
Yeah,
a lot.
That's why I find it funny when he said hit piece. I was like, was he just talking about what episode was he talking about? Because
I don't know if it was like just the fact that they mentioned
it must have been the 5th one,
maybe, or just the fact that they mentioned the fact that he might have been involved with the cover up of the
killing,
the murder of Jimmy Snuka's girlfriend. That's really the only.
But that's actually it was in the. That happened. I mean, not that
we don't know Vince's involvement.
No. I'm saying,
and we don't even know for sure if Jimmy Snuka was responsible, even though all signs point.
No, I mean that the situation happened that the people have already talked about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. That's not new. That's what I mean. So I don't see that. I don't know how. Just because you mentioned it, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a hit piece if you're trying to, but I don't know. It seemed like, I mean, to be honest, it was all new information to me because I knew nothing. I don't know who the fuck Jimmy Snuka is.
Yeah,
I don't even know who that is. I don't remember this story at all. So I didn't know nothing about this, but apparently it's something that happened that was out there, and that you can't prove anything. But it felt like you had to mention it if you're going to do a documentary about all this stuff that happened to Vince. That was something that you had to mention that happened. So I mean, for me, like I learned a lot about the business, and I just learned that either they can hide things very well, which I mean, look, in business, yeah, you can. I mean, this is not like a small. I mean, it's not like a small carnival that goes from town to town. It's not small. I mean,
No.
it's a huge carnival. It's almost like bringing an amusement park to town to town. It's so I'm sure people cannot know everything. I'm not going to say that, man, these guys probably had to know all this stuff happened. They probably heard rumors, even mentioned, like maybe about the steroids thing too.
Yeah.
I hear rumors, but you had, or that something was going on, but you had no facts, so you can't prove it. You just heard rumors talked about, and I don't know. Some people might say, "Hey, those rumors that seem like you should had delved more to." I don't know, man. I mean, everybody works at a job. I hear rumors too, but what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, "Hey, are you sleeping with this person right here?" Or something like that? What the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know how you bring that up. Unless I'm friends with the boss, I don't know how I will bring that up. Yeah. So yeah, like cheating thing, not a big deal to me because it's like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm one of those guys that think like all these guys cheat. Like cheating is not the problem. The problem is either that's a personal thing. The problem is when you're cheating and it's like you're making someone do something or implying like if you don't be with me, I'll fire you or do something to hurt you or you have to do this or something like that, or you're paying them in some way, or they got, that's why they got the job. So they got the job because of that. That's when it becomes a problem, because that's business now. Now that's business. That's not just personal. Also, I mean, of course, with the recent stuff, that's just nasty, and they go all into detail on that because, like you said, you think this was done before that, so it wasn't really totally prepared to do that. Because I wanted to go on myself to see some of the things that were saying in some of those documents. Because just from some of the things that were shown there were just horrible. Horrible what he allegedly might have done to those people and others that have done that. And I see Brock Lesnar was interviewed. I understand from the allegation standpoint not being interviewed, but before it was allegation, I was kind of hoping to hear him talk. The whole Sable thing, I didn't know. I don't know about the Sable
I didn't
thing.
know a lot about that either. That was new stuff to me as well, that, she had a lawsuit and then actually did come back to the company.
I thought, because when they did that for a bit, doing Raw and SmackDown, actually, I don't know, was it SmackDown when she came back? I'm saying, was SmackDown around when she came back?
I believe so.
I want to say because I remember seeing her again. And that was because I really just saw her because I was watching SmackDown because I didn't have cable for Raw. And I never put that together. Was there a lawsuit? I thought it was a storyline I just missed. Honestly, I didn't think it was a real thing. And for them, remember that, damn. And she came back, and then they did a storyline to even talk about that.
Yeah,
that's a fucked up shit. Yeah, I mean it's so weird.
It is a weird abuse of power to basically say, hey, you're gonna act out this thing that just happened in real life.
Yeah, and then people saying I think, or some people saying I think Vince did this to me or something. Well, I understand people saying they did this to them to humiliate them, somebody else saying something. Yeah. But some of the people saying they Vince did this storyline because he might be mad because of this. But I'm thinking why'd you do it? But then I know behind the scenes it might be a reason. Yeah, but I'm I would have fought against it at least. I would say, why am I doing this?
Yeah, it sounds like some of them did, and then because they did, they were treated differently. So.
Because just that black dude, the old black dude, what's his name?
Oh, that was man. Why am I blanking on his name?
But he's talking about that guy, like some guy touches Pecker or something like that.
Yeah.
And like he said, "Did you go to Vince?" He said, that guy was the top guy. I said, "Why you go to Vince?" Because it wouldn't have mattered. They say I would have got. He said basically I went to him. He just would have fired me. He needed that guy more than he needed me.
Right.
And it's like, see, that's
Tony Atlas. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, Tony Atlas. Okay. Yeah, it's like that's ridiculous. Like you were allowed. Like I don't care. Like even if he was going to keep him, like you say, no, I need him. I would still go to the guy. Like you gotta stop touching people's dicks, man. They can't be fucking touching some grown man's dick. Like not the people aren't into that shit. It's like, look, next time I'm gonna let them punch you. Like I'll yell and be like I'm mad at them, but I ain't gonna fire them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I would think you at least do at that, like you would go to. I mean, maybe who's to say he didn't?
Right.
But it didn't sound like that. I mean, did that man just stop doing it, or he just left before he stopped? Like what? Like where's that guy at now? The guy was touching, like apparently was doing that. Did he just die, or
I can't
did
remember.
He leave the company?
Was that Pat Patterson that he was talking about that did that, or was that?
Yeah, see, I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
He was doing stuff with the Ring Boys.
Yeah, because there was that guy, but was that the same guy that was doing that? Because he got fired. He did get fired eventually. The one that was actually involved with the Ring Boys.
Oh, so because
some people speculated that like Pat Patterson was involved with that.
There was two guys. Yeah,
and Pat Patterson was on TV all the time. He was one of the Stooges back with Vince in the 90s and 2000s. And even, up until I believe Pat Patterson finally passed away, I think he was involved with creative along with Vince for a very long time.
Man, that is,
up until recently, Yeah, he died in 2020. And up until that point, I think he was still around the company. So.
Yeah, that's some horrible stuff. So yeah, it really gets you thinking, like, yeah, because some people are thinking, like, wait a minute, so are these wrestlers knew about this and it happened? And now I'm thinking, like, I don't know if they were, because not like backstage is such like a small place, like, hey, everybody can see everything, so they all knew. Like people had their cliques and stuff, and so sometimes you could have been there and you could maybe you heard something, but you probably didn't see it. And it probably was enough for you to even say anything.
Yeah,
you probably didn't have a relationship with people like that,
right?
To really
that's the funny thing is, like, especially up until more recently, you always think about these guys who are like traveling together and all that stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, they're all friends, they know each other, and then you find out like more as you hear these interviews from people that a lot of these guys didn't hang out with each other. They didn't, play video games together like a lot of this newer generation really does. It seems like they're a more cohesive locker room than it was back in the day, despite the fact that, in a lot of cases, these guys are in the same locker room together, but they're just coworkers. How many of your coworkers are you just hanging out with constantly outside of work,
Yeah. It was something I enjoyed. So what you think of it?
Yeah, I think by the end, the later 3 episodes, I think, do a lot more for me as far as actually exploring Vince and him as a person than the early ones did, which was kind of disappointing because I really wanted to see like Vince's upbringing and kind of the stuff he dealt with there. It seems like there was a lot of trauma there. And unfortunately it doesn't seem like he was a guy that was able to figure out how to, break that cycle of trauma. And I think that's why a lot of people are coming out of this with a positive view on Shane, because he seems like a guy that's kind of been able to break loose of the trauma of the McMahon family and hopefully kind of succeed outside of it and find his own path. Because it's so weird to see the dichotomy of Vince, because you have a lot of wrestlers who look at him as like this father figure and a guy that, you know, they wanted to make proud, and he would show that love and affection too. And then you had Shane, who was legitimately his son and was craving that attention and that love and respect. And it took like seemingly like 10 times the amount of effort for him to get that out of Vince than a guy like The Undertaker, for example, or Mick Foley or somebody like that.
Yeah. And it's also interesting that everybody didn't have a real father, apparently.
Yeah.
Because that's, the whole father figure thing, like, it was like, God damn, all these guys come from broken homes? Is that what it takes?
That's how you find yourself in wrestling, especially in the 80s, 90s, and early
80s
2000s.
and 90s. I was about to say. Yeah, it's like that's what they fucking took, huh?
Yep.
They have either
Dad goes out to get milk, and next thing you know, you're in wrestling school.
Or he beat you, or whatever. I don't know. It was like, because everybody kept saying Vince was like a father figure, and I was like, darn. I mean, I'm not judging him, because I know a lot of people who say father. I mean, I heard it all the time, especially in sports.
Or maybe it's just one of those culty type things where he tries to separate you from your family so that, you know, that you become more indoctrinated into his carny lifestyle.
I mean, I guess it could be that, because for me, like, I feel like people who have fathers, they never say somebody else like their father unless they don't like their father.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, hey, that was a guy. No, now he was, like, if anything, I would say somebody's like an uncle, like a mentor, okay. or an uncle. If I'm going to do something like a thing, there's like an uncle to me. Yeah, I was like, I got a daddy. It's that I got it. But yeah, so no, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm coming out of this more positive than I was after last week's first three episodes. Yeah,
you're more positive. You like Vince. Vince is a good guy.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it's like a father figure to me.
They're doing him wrong. Yeah. They did him wrong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, you don't really get. I mean, they very briefly kind of say, hey, like, this is the stuff that's, you know, coming out about him. Obviously, we don't know a lot of details about like what was going on. You know, Bruce Pritchard, I think, is even like, oh, you know, who knows why Stephanie left the company, you know, around the time that her dad came back. Weird.
I mean, that's what I was saying when you told me, because I said, like, she left and he came. Is it because of him?
Yeah, because she when he was there, she left. She was gonna like go off and do family stuff. And then as soon as he left, she came back on board as co-president. Yeah. And then he came back again. And then that's when she left again. And then he got fired, basically, or, you know, made to quit. And then eventually she kind of folded back in. Now, I don't know that she has any official role still. She might still be on the board, but she might have been on the board the entire time. I'm not totally sure about that, but you are starting to see her as like, I don't even know if you would say a talent, but, you know, she's appearing on screen now again alongside Triple H, Paul Levesque, you know, as part of the creative. So yeah, it definitely seems like anytime Vince is around, she is, you know, not around, and vice versa. So I do wonder what that relationship is like, if there is any at home. It definitely seemed like she was a lot more connected to Vince the entire time than Shane was, despite, you know, Shane looking for that kind of father figure.
And you know what? I would want to say something real quick before I forget. Sure. Like, people, when they were talking about the Attitude Era and all the stuff that happened there, like, I mean, that was basically what our childhood. And like how, like, you look at that stuff, like, oh man, that stuff cannot be done now. It's like, yeah, and then even the wrestlers say like, looking back, it's like, will we do that now? No. It's like a lot of stuff was overboard. Yes, they say that. I just find it funny when I see people online, like, so they gotta be our age or older.
Yeah.
They're saying like, nah, the Attitude Era was great, and I mean, yes, I mean, we did enjoy it.
Oh,
We
yeah, it's what we
enjoyed it.
wanted at the time.
Yeah.
I think Triple H
Yes.
even said basically that.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
They were just feeding into what society
that
was.
is what all it was, though. Like, all the wrestling stuff what it was. It's like trying to do something that was based on, like, reality. They weren't, like Vince said, I agree. It's like they weren't starting the trend. They were
Right,
trying
they
to
were following
see
it.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, following it. And they would, like, start, like, with the Iron Sheik shit. Like, it was trying to go with, until it got too real, they said.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
yeah,
you play
like
with fire a little too much.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, you play with fire because people stupid because they believe in shit. Because if people really looked at it like it was, they wouldn't. You can still use it.
Yeah.
Like it can still be used. But anyway, yeah, but the people just trying to say like like they try to look at it, but like not trying to see that. Yeah, some of that stuff is a little too far. Like you can't. Like yeah, it was for the time, but honestly.
Oh, yeah.
It probably maybe it shouldn't have.
You don't necessarily
happened.
have to look at it fondly in a positive. Like you can be nostalgic about it, but at the same
say,
time,
like, look, I used to like this stuff, but it's like, yeah, but that stuff, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like we moved past. Like that's a thing we probably shouldn't done. Like they shouldn't have been stripping down that girl and telling her to walk like a
bark
bitch,
like a dog. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That Trish stuff is hard to watch.
Because now, look, it's funny. I was laughing at. Well, I was a horny little teenager. So it's saying anybody get that.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
That was just cool for me. But like looking when I saw it again, it's a little cringy.
Yeah.
It's a little cringy.
I don't remember if I was watching when that specifically happened, but like all the like bikini contests and stuff like that, like absolutely.
I don't know. I just felt like I saw. Well, maybe it's not that one particular, but I felt like I saw that because that happen
you might
on
have.
Raw
I feel
SmackDown?
like maybe that was a SmackDown thing, especially.
Yeah, because I feel like SmackDown. I've seen some of those things. And then of course like the bra and panty fight, and I mean, yeah, it's like this is nah. Yeah, like you don't need that, and I like that how women wrestling. Is a whole lot better now. But you know what? The thing is, I think the 90s, looking at it, I mean, like I said, I'm not even wrestling. Because I'm looking at the past, there was like women just legitimately wrestling.
Yeah.
And I guess the 90s killed it.
Yes,
and
100%.
just made it so that, they made it. So it wasn't like, this is all new. It was actually probably going to be where women, like legitimate women wrestlers, but then they said, nah, sex appeal.
Yeah.
yeah, like, nah, you gotta, you'll come up with the men, or you might have like or like you say, body panty match, like something like that, not real wrestling or anything, not real wrestlers or anything. The closest, like, real looking wrestler anyway. I mean, of course they said Sable was wrestling, which I never knew, but because they didn't use her that well.
Not very
that.
often.
Yeah, like China was the only person I seen, but I was like, there's no other woman though. There's other women who should really fight. That's why she's always with the men. So it kind of sucked. I got the Mr. Boat on that. Like that's why it's thought like real wrestling wasn't like a real thing. I also didn't think it was legit like a real thing because they didn't really show it. They didn't have it. All right, so I guess we'll talk about Penguin. So Penguin episode 2 finally happened. I feel like it's been like a month.
Yeah.
Between the goddamn first one.
Yeah, I actually watched the like recap just because I was like, do I remember what happened in that first one or not?
And I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the Penguin.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and just seeing how he's playing, like how Oz was playing all sides, man. Like he is all for himself. He's just trying to see like where, like, hey, what does he have to do to get ahead? Like, who does he have to please? Like he's like his side. He's on his own side, and like he just kind of always what's the word I'm looking for? He's kind of adapting to the situations and things of that nature. Like
he's a good improv artist, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's just I've been reading some comics and stuff like with Batman and I see Oswald and stuff. It's like, man, it really fits it. It really fits that character, man. Like that's just how he is. Until he's at the top, but even still, like he adapts to what's the going on with Gotham and whatever, and to what he is, and yeah, it's good. Like it's very good. Like how they do those things. Yeah, how you feel about it?
Yeah, they're doing a great job of making him like this intriguing street level, mafia thug kind of guy, to the point where I would be really interested to see what happens when he actually does kind of get a hold of that top level power and become
he gets a top hat and monocle.
Exactly. I want to see the evolution of this Penguin as we see him now into.
I don't think he's going to get it.
No,
I honestly don't think
I don't,
he is.
unfortunately, either. But I would love to see that characterization just kind of get there. I think the woman that's playing Falcone's daughter is very good.
Oh yes. Yeah, she's very good.
She's definitely a highlight.
I'm kind of into her, Daniel. I kind of into the crazies. A crazy woman that murders people.
Yes,
that turns me on.
Scrape marks in her own neck. Yeah, no, that's cool. The relationship that they're developing with him and the younger boy, I think, is interesting too. I wonder where that actually goes. Like, are they
dead? He dies.
I wonder if they're developing him
I was joking,
to kind of become that, though. If he's just going to be like, they don't have a girlfriend,
like one of his right hand men or something.
Well, then I wonder if they're developing him to basically be fridged.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
If they're creating a relationship for him to show kind of his humanity, and then to kill that kid off to show that.
Stop his man. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that's not what that is.
No, I kind of do, Daniel.
Yeah.
That's how he gets to be the Penguin.
I mean, it could be interesting as long as they actually
pushes him in there
take
with
the
Tiny.
time to develop.
That's what the shark name is.
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be even more interesting. Is like the pathos if he's the guy that kills him to, solidify his place at the top. Yeah, I mean, because.
Because it could be, or his mother dying.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely that feels like it's definitely gonna be a thing, or I mean, maybe not even dying, but succumbing to the dementia even more than she already is.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think the show is really interesting so far. I think it's a substantial amount of episodes too. I think it's like 8 or 9 episodes. So it feels like they've got some.
8 is the normal, I thought. So
is it?
That's substantial?
Well, for what we've been seeing lately, like hasn't Game of Thrones been like 6? Wasn't that 6 last time or something?
I thought that was going to be 8, so I was surprised it was.
Yeah. And I feel like some of the more recent Marvel shows have been on the
7,
shorter side too. So I feel like just actually seeing it get 8, it was a little surprising for me, just because it feels
okay. I mean, I can understand that because, especially like a big actor, and like this is based off a movie, right? Like it could be just kind of short, like a short,
especially because it sounds like I've seen some people speculate that it's just kind of a bridge between the Batman and the Batman movie, where we won't necessarily see him as the top villain, but as kind of a bridging kind of thing. It felt like this could have just been a filler type project almost. And it seems like maybe they're actually giving us something substantial here.
All right. So now we get to what we've been playing. So I'll go ahead. So I played some Guilty Gear X, which is the game that came out on PlayStation 2. I played it through the PlayStation 2 emulator. like the Guilty Gear series because I just want to play a fighting game, but something like I always heard that was good, and
Yeah.
people that in Strive, which is the latest one, not everyone is high on it. I mean, there's people do like it, but it's not the best one. The best one is actually some people think is X2 or the X2 variants they have. So I was like, well, I'll just try
Okay.
Guilty Gear X, um, the first one, and yeah, that game looks good. Well, of course, since I'm playing through the emulator, it does have it ups the res a bit
Yeah.
on it, but it looks good. Like it's one of those hand look like hand drawn kind of animations they do have for these games because it's Atlas.
Yeah.
It's still yeah, it looks good, man, for a PlayStation 2 game, and um, I was just playing with one of the characters to see how it feels, and it seems all right. Because I have a hard time with Strive. I played Strive a few times. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
Hmm.
Just can't get into it. And you know what? Their story mode, it's not really a story mode. It's literally you watching an anime. And I always thought that was weird. Because I was waiting. I was like, this is a long ass cutscene.
Yeah.
And I had the thing on for 20 minutes. And I was like, because I started just on my computer because I was playing on my my Xbox. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Oh no, actually no, I was watching something on TV and I was playing on the computer. I think it was the other way around. I was like, what is going on? Why is this? I haven't got to a fight yet, and then I saw like you just watch a show. This is just telling you the story of like there's a show about Guilty Gear and stuff. I was like, the fuck? I was like, are you serious?
Did
I
Kojima
was
direct
like,
this?
I was like, oh my god! It was like I thought it was like you fight the fights in between. I said, you gotta be kidding me. Um, but yeah, so I played that. Um, I also I'm gonna play some live Dynasty Warriors 5. I know that, but ain't much to talk about there. I also played some Ratchet and Clank on the PS5. I played
Nice.
some more of that. I finally got to a point where I finished the first part of when you're playing as Ratchet when they got split up, and I
Hmm.
got to the point where you play as the girl. I haven't really played with her yet though. That's where I stopped um, at that point. But yeah, I mean the game graphically looks good. I don't know how to lock on the people. Like I know how to
Mm.
go into the zoom where you can just kind of
Oh,
zoom
you
in.
ran
That
through
makes
it.
it easier. But I'm not sure how you like just hit a lock on button because I seem like every time I press a
Mm.
button that seems like it would be lock on is not. So I just kind of just. I mean, it's not really bothersome, but it's like sometimes there was like enemy behind me or something like that, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, I need to just turn around. I mean, I think there's a button to quickly turn around. I forget what it was though, but I just I have the game on easy, so I don't. I mean, it takes a long time for me to die. I mean, there is a mode where you just don't die. I don't have it on that, but yeah, because I just want to get through the game, and I didn't like that. Things they make it easy for you to collect the raritanium because it has a map that shows you where it is. But it's still sometimes some of them I'm like I feel like oh I'm right here. I guess it's somewhere special around here. I just don't know how to get to it. I was like I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I was like I ain't gonna be collecting everything in this game. So yeah, but playing through that game was alright because I'm still like I haven't found that game to really just get me to stick with. And I was like I mean I'm playing Trails, but it's like
Mm.
in between Trails. Like sometimes I gotta take a break from Trails, or I don't feel like playing it. So I'm like, I don't feel like reading today. So so I I was like, I don't know what game to play. You know, like I was always playing like different things because I had nothing that I really I just feel like I have to play this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm want to like what I'm feeling is something more action. Like I want something story driven, but action, not RPG. That because I'm playing Trails because after playing Trails, I don't want to play another RPG right now. I tried ARA, which is that game that's similar to Civilization,
Mm.
which is on it's made by Microsoft. So it's just like Civilization. I play a little bit of it. I can't tell you the differences. I mean, there are differences, but I couldn't really go into detail because it's not like I'm a huge Civilization fan that I can just remember everything of that game,
Right.
like down to it. But it is very very similar. Like for me, I didn't feel like I need to like the tutorial they have. I mean, it's good, but it didn't feel like, oh, like this is a new game. Like I can just dive in and understand a lot of this stuff. If you understand Civilization, you can get into this game. But for what I heard is that it's not as good as Civilization though, because the reviews haven't been that good for it. So I don't know. But yeah, but it seems all right. Even though I had some problems, like every now and then get into a game, and I thought it was on Xbox. I didn't think it was just a PC game.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, so because I can't play it on the cloud, I had to download it. Well, it's like this. If it is on Xbox, it's not on the cloud, which is weird because it is Microsoft's first party game.
Right.
What else have I played? I played some. Oh yeah, Epic Mickey Rebrush. I played some of that. Damn, this game looks so much better than the original one. Like they really done a good job with that. They do still have those cutscenes that was kind of drawn, which was from the first one because that still looks familiar. But everything else, man, it looks totally different. And it just, yeah, it definitely plays a whole lot better. Like I can get through this game, so I might be playing more of this. I played some Frostpunk last night. I got to a point in the game where there's a big storm coming, so I had to bring back some of my people from Expedition or scouts who just go out searching the land so they can come back. And yeah, I'm still in the middle of that. I think I'm closer to the end of the storm because it goes for some days. And like, yeah, because like everything just gets super cold, so you start using more coal. Some people, like when they go out to work, they get frostbite. So I had to build some more infirmaries for people to go to. So eventually I had to stop people from working like at certain places because when it's out a little too far from the middle of the city, I said I just used the automatons or whatever to do that work. Some places can't even function because of the storm. It's just too cold. So it's like, yeah, it's like, did you like store up? I guess at this point you're supposed to store up like your resources, which for food I did. Like I had a lot of food because I had a lot of people just hunting. Because I had the automatons doing a lot of stuff that was kind of in the city where I had people go out hunting for food. The coal, yeah, I was really good, but darn, when you had everybody inside, everybody trying to really stay warm, that coal was going out fast. I cheated and just added a lot of coal because you say, oh no, the coal's running out. But my steam engine is getting pretty stressed. I wonder if it can last until a couple of days because yeah, the stress level, which has never gone up since I had it, has gone like it's past. I know it's definitely past the midway point. So I wonder if can I survive this. But yeah, it's one of those scenarios that happen in the game. I think there is an end game. Like for each scenario, it has a different type of ending. So I want to play the scenario out just to see what it looks like at the end. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool. Like you have things happen, like where some people are like, oh man, because they struggling. Some like one person, like, oh yeah, there were some people who were like causing trouble, and like they said, a person said, somebody said they overheard people saying like, hey, let's go have us some fun. Basically, like just find some ladies, have some fun because hey, we're all going to die soon anyway. And I said, oh, kick them out. We ain't having that. I'll say, nope. I wasn't going to be like, oh, watch out, watch your eyes, and you get the hell out of here. So, oh, you think you're going to die anyway? Well, here you go. It's like, go out there and die. But you ain't going to be, and go fuck each other because you ain't going to be like raping old ladies here. Then you have some people were stealing, like who were working in the cafeteria. I just had them watch them. I got some people to watch those people, and then you have like sometimes like be somebody, hey, I just want some food. Somebody say, hey, I already gave them food though. They're trying to get more. You can decide to give them more or not. I just gave them more. I said forget it.
Really?
Just give them more, and yeah, and get some people
Weak.
yeah, some discontent. There's some discontent from the people. Say, oh, you gave that person more food. I said, I got plenty of food. I got the cheat codes. We all can get food. To run food, I always can get more. I wish I could tell them that. So I got the cheat codes, guys. Don't have to worry. If I ever say that, they think I'm crazy. We gotta take over. This man say got some cheat codes in life. What the hell is he
He's
talking
trying to
about?
tell us he's God.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So what else you been playing?
I've just been playing Zelda mostly this week. Still trucking along in that. I'm still having a lot of fun. It's been good. The puzzles have been really solid. I'm like 2.5 dungeons in, I guess I would say. I don't know how many total there is. Still a little wordy. But my biggest complaint is just like the UI for this, because you're constantly picking up these echoes. And the way that they have you choose the echoes, you can either press start and go into the menu and kind of see it in that form, just like you would a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, or like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, you press right on the D-pad or the D buttons or whatever you want to call them. And it brings up a whole list of them, left and right scroll through style. And you're getting such a large amount of these things that it's a bad way to deal with it. And you should be able to like mark favorites or something that would be at the beginning of the list. Now that's kind of technically true because you can sort by recently used. So your more frequently used things, and you can also do it by frequently used. But it just feels like there's a slicker way that Nintendo could have come up with. It would also be nice if they allowed you to like choose 3 favorites and have those dedicated to like 3 cardinal directions on the D-pad or something like that. And a lot of these just feel like you're not going to use them ever, or you're going to use them a one-off time. And in a lot of ways, that feels like the kind of wasted potential. It almost feels like you're collecting things for collecting's sake. And I've actually heard people mention like the combat being almost Pokemon-like, because you are just kind of throwing these enemies out there to fight for you. But in a lot of cases, you're throwing them out there and then waiting for them to attack. And it's always like you're waiting at the most inopportune time here. I don't know that I want more direct control over that. I feel like that would overcomplicate things. But I wish there was like a aggressive mode where it's like, I just want you to keep attacking or like indicate to me where there's a cooldown or something. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that feels like a kind of minuscule complaint for what they are serving up here. And I think for what it is so far, at least, with how kind of verbose it is with so much talking, I think they're actually kind of telling an interesting story here that's a little more evolved than the typical we're trying to save the princess or we're trying to save Link. It deals with these kind of like imposters and them, convincing the townsfolk and the people around them that, Zelda is the enemy and that she is the one that is trying to harm the people with these rifts instead of being kind of the savior.
That's what I believe, Daniel. That's right.
So
who's the enemy?
I haven't actually seen like a big bad yet. I mean, there are like, once people go into the rift, they're kind of stuck there, and you'll see these like imposter versions of them come out of the rift, and now as Zelda and your little friend Tri, who follows you around, you can kind of sense who the imposters are. But it's not obvious to everyone else around you unless they've been in the rift and come back out necessarily. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing to it. And I'm sure by the end of it, we will see a big bad. I mean, it may even be Ganon, because we see Link fighting Ganon at the very beginning of the game, and they both get sucked into the rift. So it could be like a Rift Ganon, or even Ganon is somehow, manipulating things from the Rift because he has more power than like a normal person who would be frozen in the Rift. But yeah, so we will see how that evolves. But so far, I'm still having a lot of fun. But you are just kind of using the same echoes over and over again, or at least I find myself doing that. Maybe it's just a lack of creativity on my part. But sometimes you work with what works. So that's kind of the way things have been going for me right now. But I like it. So that's it for me, Dominic.
All right, man. So I guess we'll take a quick break. Where we get back, get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashback into 2014 to October, new month now. So let's see what games came out in 2014, 10 years ago. Apparently only one game, and it's Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix, which is basically not really a remake, but a remaster of the Kingdom Hearts HD. Kingdom Hearts HD. Well, excuse me. Of Kingdom Hearts 2, and thing is, it's say in a half because the remix, which technically came out only in Japan originally after Kingdom Hearts 2, where they added some extra stuff to the game. Don't ask me which the extra stuff is. I'm not going to go through all that. But in this one, this is like the remaster of multiple games, not just the remix of that. And now we finally get it in America. But also, well, actually, this is the release of the Japanese version of this game, but it comes in America in about 2 months, I think it is. You also get, oh, darn, see, I don't have it up here to scan. Actually I do. Yes, I do. Yay. So you get Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. You also get Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. And you also get Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Which is similar to how Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days was included. It's a cinematic retelling of the Nintendo DS game. I guess is it not a game then? It's just recorded. It's also included in the collection, including featuring the DS game adapted into a cinematic retelling. The title is set after Kingdom Hearts 2, and I don't know. There's so many fucking weird titles with this game. This is like one of those games. This kind of reminds me of like more Metal Gear Solid, like games I loved in high school. I was really into the Kingdom Hearts series, high school, and a little after, because Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I think, in I want to say 05 maybe. And it just never. As growing older, it just didn't stick. Well, really because of them, honestly. I blame them because they put those. First of all, they put those games on different systems, and then they call them weird names, and so it's just didn't make it easy to follow. And and it's one of those series that it got more complicated than it should have. Like it was a series that they didn't plan this from the beginning.
Yeah,
like they didn't
it was
plan.
Just supposed to be cool Disney Final Fantasy crossover.
Yeah, and there was a nice story with that, and then they expanded it a bit, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But you expand to something that was very complicated to a point where the Disney stuff is basically the back burner, and it's just the anime stuff really out there, which, you know what, that's fine. If it's a good story, I don't care.
Sure.
But thing is, you made it not a good story. Honestly, you made. Yes, this is my opinion, because there's a lot of people who do like it, and those are the people who find it weird. Like they think it's like, oh, you just don't understand it, and said neither do you, neither do you, because they don't either. So how are you going to understand something they don't even understand? And it's like this story was not supposed to be this complicated. It was pretty simple, and you could have kept it simple. It was meant to be simple. You had you have it combined with Disney. That's the thing. The overall the Disney stories are simple. Then they just kind of form into something creative inside. But the overarching themes and stuff, it should be not that complicated. And you very complicated a series that could have been something else. There's not many people who can just sit down and just tell you what this game is about. Overall, it's ridiculous. Like at first, it made sense. It was two. Look, the first game, it was supposed to be like it's two keyblades, one that opens the door and one that locks it. Now it's a billion of them, and I don't know what the fuck these are all about, man. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's, and then then it was like, oh, when you everybody like people have their like shadow, like the shadows were shadows of people that were alive or something like, hey, well, I guess I don't know if you died, like your shadow or something or whatever, um, and then they have something like, oh, instead of just shadows, people also have nobodies that are white. And I was like, what? Like in part two, I mean, you probably could do some story with that to make it simple, but you definitely didn't. Because I played through two, and even though two was cool as far as like some of the spectacle, I did not understand none of that shit. I was like, what the nobodies? Like, what is this? So then where's the third lead? Like if your body gets like loses like its soul or shadow or something, I don't know, and it has a nobody. So what's the other body like? Just is it just there? I was like, what? I don't know. It. Yeah, I might have to like. There's a bunch of deep dives on YouTube to look at up that stuff to understand it. But anyway, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, it was one of those series, man. I did like, and like I said, it's one of those series that it didn't stay. It's not one of those things that stayed with me as I got older. So I was like, yeah, it's not that. It's not that great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I like the first game. I give the first game credit for what it was. The second game for the spectacle, but story wise, I think it fell apart. Um, all right, so that's it for 2014. So now we're going back 20 years, 2004, and we got Mortal Kombat Deception. This is the second of the Mortal Kombat's on this generation of consoles. It came out for PS2, GameCube, Xbox, and I guess they added some new characters and stuff because I never did play this one. I had the Alliance. And this one, the game had it did have puzzle combat, and which is another mini game they had. They also had chess combat. I heard that was actually okay. I remember reading that somewhere.
Cool.
I could be lying though.
There's a third one then, right? That like is where they have like way too many things and they have like the combat carts and stuff. Is that like Armageddon or something?
Maybe that's that one. Yeah, maybe it was that one. Cause this one only has two. Yeah, that's the only one I could. I mean, what was one after Armageddon?
I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But all right, it said right here. Let's see what the plot is. It begins immediately after the events of the Alliance. The Diddy Alliance of Shang Shu and Quan Chi was successful in their plan. Oh, they won. So
They always
warriors,
win, Dominic.
who were meant to protect the 6 fictional universes, were killed during their tournament. It served as the perfect distraction to defeat their enemies while they simultaneously claim enough souls to resurrect the invincible army. As a single survivor, Raiden attempts to fight both sorcerers, but is ultimately defeated. The Alliance quickly dissolves as the two sorcerers turn on each other for Shinnok's amulet, which allows them to control the army. Quan Chi has no time to enjoy his victory before he sees that the Dragon King Onaga, the former emperor of the realm of Outworld, has been resurrected too. Quan Chi, Shang Shu, and Raiden join forces to stop Onaga, though Raiden ultimately unleashes all his powers in a colossal explosion that, apart from destroying both members of the Day Alliance, the surrounding palace and himself has little effect on Naga. Naga now seeks to use 6 artifacts called the Kamadogo, or whatever. Literally tool of God or divine clay, which are again to destroy the realms. Those fighters who survived the battle against the Diddy Alliance now stand against Onaga and his supporters. The latter include the forces of Edenia, now led by Melina, in the titular theme of deception as she masquerades as her sister, Princess Katana. They do look the same, except for the teeth. Other
That's why they wear the masks.
include the former defenders from the realms who were resurrected by Naga under his control.
Sounds like it's
Yeah,
time
so
for them to bring Onaga back to the series.
yeah, you got that. They got the new characters are Naga. You got a person named Kira, a former weapons dealer, resurrected into Cabal's reformed Black Dragon organization. You got Ashra, another realm demoness, serving for redemption and her freedom from the realm by a way of slaying demons with the magical sword. You got Daru, a disgraced Sedan guardsman turned mercenary who was contracted by Darius to assassinate his former superior, Hataru. Then you got Hataru, leader of the Seton Guard, who pledges his services to Onaga. Then you got Havoc, Chaos Realm cleric. You got Cobra.
This is where Havoc came back, who's a kind of big character in the new game.
Yeah. Martial artist turned killer, who was resurrected along with Kira into Cabal's reformed Black Dragon organization. And Shujinko, a aged warrior who was deceived by Onaga when he was young. He is the central character of the game's training, Conquest Mode. And of course you got Nightwolf, Scorpion, Sindel, Sub-Zero, Tanya, Noob Sabak, Nightwolf, Liu Kang. I thought he was deceased. The deceased Mortal Kombat champion whose spirit enlists Ermac in freeing the enslaved Earthrealm fighters, but his corpse has been exhumed and reanimated for evil purposes. Oh. So evil Liu Kang. Cabal, Jade, Ermac, Boracho.
Boracho is the best. He's the drunken guy, right?
Yeah, Baraka. Cool. I don't know if that's like... because you see a whole bunch of Barakas. I'm thinking, like, is it the same guy in each one, or is it a different Baraka?
How dare you, Dominic? You can't tell Barakas apart.
All right. Wait a minute. Hold up. The GameCube version included 2 additional playable characters in Goro and Shao Kahn.
Oh. Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Who were both killed in the opening sequence of Deadly Alliance. How did the GameCube get that?
Because we were superior, Dominic.
No, because y'all sold the lease, so that was had to get so
they had to
buy
incentivize us. Well, it didn't work because I'm pretty sure I only have Deadly Alliance.
All right. So new Saibot. I did say he was in there. Okay. All right. What else we got here? We got Tony Hawk Underground 2 came out. So you played this one, so you can go.
Yeah, this is where they really went heavy into like the Jackass stuff. Bam Margera was kind of a big player in this game. It was basically, if I recall correctly, it was basically kind of like Bam's clique versus Tony Hawk's clique. And you were kind of traveling around the world, going to different kind of famous skate spots and doing that. But there was a lot of like off the skateboard jackassery happening in this game. I didn't hate it. I think this is where a lot of people were kind of definitely falling off of the series. The first Underground and the second kind of took an attitude shift where it got a little more slapsticky and less kind of about the art of the skate, if you will.
I do not like Michael Phelps with a man bun. I am seeing a Home Depot commercial of him in the man bun because I was like, is that Michael Phelps?
Is that Aaron Rodgers? Nope.
I was kind of hoping it was. I was hoping it was. But I was like, yeah. Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
It distracted me, Daniel.
I understood. I was like, wait, is Michael Phelps and Tony Hawk? No. Yeah, it's fine. You know, it's another one of these where they leaned a little more heavily into the story element, which I did actually appreciate over the previous games that were mostly just like, here's your objectives, complete your objectives, and then you're good. This would give you a little more than that to kind of keep you motivated playing. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, man. Darren, I remember that Neversoft logo.
Mm-hmm. All
right. Where else we got here? We got Tribes Vengeance. Apparently, you thought it was a big deal to talk
Yeah,
about.
Tribes was
So,
kind of a big deal back in the day. I think before Vengeance, it was kind of more of a cult classic, and I think Vengeance is the one I'm thinking of, where it became a little more mainstream. Although that might have been Tribes too. All right, yeah. So the Tribes thing was kind of that you had a lot of fast movement. Like it almost kind of reminds me of the way like a Titanfall is nowadays. Even in a time when shooters were a lot faster than like a Call of Duty, talking about like Doom and Unreal and stuff like that. This took it to a whole nother level. You had like jetpacks and you would skate around almost the levels. And that was pretty cool. I never got super big into it, but I remember it being kind of a big thing for a while there. And I feel like maybe it was Tribes Vengeance, because like that would have been kind of the heyday of the internet, really. So maybe that was it, not Tribes 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, people like Tribes. I just didn't know. Yeah, I know nothing about like the subsets or.
Yeah, and apparently
Tribes,
Ken Levine wrote this one, the BioShock guy. So I wonder if it has like a substantial story to it.
I was about to say, it has a story. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool then. But it was so it wasn't just a multiplayer game. Okay, so they had single player. Yeah, it says single player campaign follows 5 playable characters. I wonder if you can still play this.
Maybe.
Like
available on Steam.
Like I don't think, because this is a time when they had online only. Like if they had a single player.
Yeah.
All right. What else came out? Oh yes, Leisure Suit Larry, Magna Cum Laude. This is Leisure Suit Larry was a big series in the '90s. It was a point and click game, but it was more adult oriented, as in like adult comedy. With sex.
It was raunchy
and more sex. I mean, it was. It's like, you know what? I don't remember televiolence. I just remember.
Yeah, no.
A lot of chicks with big boobs.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much.
So this is like dealing with Leisure Suit Larry's nephew, I believe, and he's going to college, and you're doing is basically almost like American Pie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
National Lampoon, like Revenge of the Nerds kind of thing. It's just. Like, yeah, you're doing all these
Tropes.
crazy things.
Yep.
Yeah, these crazy things, dealing with girls, doing drinking games and stuff, and it was just crazy. And some of the, like, how the games go, like the drinking game, I think, the way you win is you have to move this sperm around, to dodge things or something. It was, but the problem was, the problem with the game, except for if you just don't like that stuff, but the problem with the game is, like, the load times on the consoles, man, it was
on the
horrible.
PC too, it was bad.
Okay. Yeah, the load times were horrible. Bad. Yeah, like, it would take forever. Like, the only good thing was that it did have these, on the load screen, these, like, chicks and stuff, but, you know what, that can only get so far. Only get me so far, like, looking at those good-looking chicks just for, like, 10 fucking minutes or something like that. But it's like I don't want to say 10 minutes, but they were just long. They were too long. And I especially hate it when I be like, "Oh, I ain't want to go in this room." Then I turn around. But nah, I was really waiting for this game, because thing is, I love point and click games. So, and I never got to play Leisure Suit Larry. I mean, there were games like, they were made for adults.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, I can finally play this game and everything. And overall, maybe it wasn't that good. I don't know, but I know I enjoyed it. Even though I enjoyed it, even for how horrible it was made. Yeah. Like, the game itself was made. Like, I mean, graphically it looked alright, but like I said, the load times made too much. Even some of the mini games were a little too. They weren't good. They weren't that good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was funny in places and things of that nature that I was okay with it. Yeah. So yeah, it was it was that's the only reason to talk about. Like, I don't even know what's the I didn't even click on this right here.
Scores were bad, but I also have vaguely fond memories of this game. Yeah,
and also, like, I mean, I was just a year out of college. Yeah, I was just a year out in college then. So yeah, I was still young. I was still technically I was 19. So it's
Yeah.
so yeah, I wasn't even 20 yet. But yeah, um, where we at here? We got Mega Man 03 came out on the Game Boy Advance. So is this game's a big deal?
Yeah, I mean that whole series are really quality games. I never got around to playing much of three. As far as Metacritic goes, it's got a 77 and a 78 on game rankings. Game Informer only gave it a 6.8 though. That's pretty damning. It feels like everybody else gave it in the 8 range.
Yeah, Famitsu. I mean, yeah, 28 out of 40. I guess is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Famitsu is always kind of weird. Like, it's hard to take. I remember back in the day when it was like, oh, they gave such and such a 40 out of 40. And then that quickly became like, oh, this got a 40 out of 40, and this got out of 40 out of 40, and this is getting like a weirdly low score from them. Like, their ratings just seem kind of all over the place. So I've never really taken them as seriously since kind of catching on to that stuff. But yeah, I mean, for a guy that would go over his friend's house and play the Mega Man X and look at Zero and be like, oh man, Zero is the coolest character in these games, to get the first one of these games, I thought was really cool. And then, obviously 3, we're probably getting a little long in the tooth here, but it is a pretty cool series all around. I'm trying to think if I don't think I got the Mega Man Zero collection, but I believe there is. Yeah, there's a Zero ZX collection, but that's not one that I picked up yet.
All right. So is that it? Yeah. So that's it for 2004. So now we're going to 1994. And we got one game to talk about. Super Punch-Out was released in America on the Super Nintendo. So this is the sequel to how many Punch-Outs were there on Nintendo? The original Nintendo.
Just one, I think.
Okay, all right.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
So this is the sequel to that, but no Mike Tyson's. Like Mike Tyson was up there. But I never played this one. Have you played this one?
I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I think I might have played it at a friend's house or something like that. But I never was really big into the Punch-Out games, even, the NES one.
Yeah. But let's see, was people rated, like, how did it get? It got an 84% on game rankings. A 26 out of 40. Not as good as the Mega Man from Famitsu. Game Informer gave it a 9 out of 10. Let me see what they say over here. We received rave reviews from GamePro. The reviewer praised the game's good control, deceptive challenge, sprite layouts, animation, and sounds, which juiced the game's intensity level. He stated that the game's one flaw was the lack of easy-to-use two-player mode. The magazine ran alternate reviews by Fred Dowdy and Matt Gawain, winners of the 1994 Blockbuster Video Game Championship. They also gave the game positive assessments, praising the easy-to-learn controls, high challenge, and artistic design of characters. Several reviewers praised Punch-Out overall for not trying to be realistic, for the originality of the different opponents, and for its simple controls. I'm trying to see, is anybody really say anything bad? Behind the back, it says Super Nintendo's transparent color palette for the fighter, which facilitates a behind the back perspective. He also appreciates the game's sound, blah, 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 blah. All right. So, yeah, I mean, overall, people did enjoy the game.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, look at the animation. I mean, it still looks good.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at them now, and I'm like, man, it always surprises me when you see, like, a really good Super Nintendo game, like, how good they still look and hold up.
Yeah. All right. So, what we got here? Man, I'm sure that guy in the middle got CTE, man. Look at that. I mean, god damn. I know he got hit in the head so many times. All right, so that's it for the flashback. That's it for as far as flashback segment of games. So now, every month we every new month we talk about old video game covers for that month that happened. So we're going to start with 2014, and we got Edge magazine, and on Edge on the front we got Miyamoto.
Yeah,
and he is showing off the Wii U, the Wii U pad anyway. And what do you mean, whatever, man? The Wii U pad. That is.
I didn't say whatever. I said yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't say you say whatever. I'm saying whatever to your.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that thing is your new Switch soon. That's the Switch. In about some years, whatever years we're in. Yeah. So Return of the King, the world's greatest game designer, is back at the controls. Yep, and he So you got the Wii U, the New Wave, the inside track on the Zelda, Splatoon, Mario, Smash Brothers, Yoshi, and more. Like all those games were coming out for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because the Wii U already had came out. But I think when it first came out, it didn't really have many games. They just had Nintendo Land. I think they had that. What was that game called?
Zombie U.
Zombie U, and
that was a big one.
Wasn't the one that I thought was Beautiful Joe, but it wasn't. And
Wonderful 99.
Yeah,
or
didn't that come
101?
out like? Wasn't that like one of the first ones to come out there?
I don't remember.
I don't remember it coming after Splatoon. I know that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was one of the older ones, and of course, Mass Effect 3, like games that were already on other
Batman Armored Edition or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, so we got Bayonetta 2. Oh yeah, that was a game that came out eventually. Hyrule Warriors, The Sailor's Dream, The Crew, Virginia, and Evolve. Virginia, I remember that, and that also was a movie. Actually, if there was a movie, I know it was Nebraska. Never mind. It was a state, goddammit. Maybe I put Virginia game because all I did was get Virginia.
Yeah, I remember this game.
Yeah, now Virginia. Yeah, now I remember. Yes, and it got a what's the Metacritic up here?
Winner.
74. Yeah, and I think I started it. I just think I never did go really far. Gotta go play it, Daniel. It's a black woman in there. All right. Yeah. So what else they have up here? Oh, that's it. But yeah, the Wii U, man. I had the black one. I had it a lot of years later though, when the games came out, and I was a big fan, and then they got canceled on me. All right. So what else we got here? Okay, where I'm at. We're at Xbox magazine. And we got Evolve on the front.
Yeah, look at that big sexy
guy.
Got the
Evolve monster. Yeah, you got the Evolve monster out there. This game I was looking forward to because the guys who did Left 4 Dead. Why 2014's most exciting shooter is best on the Xbox One? Why is it?
Because we paid them extra money.
Battlefield Hardline. Why it's not just a spinoff? It was better than what people said. I know that.
That's the cop one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, the story was actually a whole lot better. Like, the people really was down in this game. Yeah. And I was like, wow. I was like, come on, man. This is better than the last few Call of Duty campaigns. I mean, what the hell? It's like now, if you can play about the multiplayer, I can't really speak on that. I mean, I played the multiplayer. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I'm not like a huge fan to know like, oh, this was horrible. But nah, like if you're talking about the campaign, like that was fun. Assassin's Creed Unity, the best Assassin's Creed. Ubi starts again on Xbox One. Minecraft Xbox One, it's here. Migrate your world and more. Plus Xbox One versus Japan. Yep, they went to war. And Japan won.
Japan did win,
EA versus EA versus everybody. EA versus everybody. Mortal Kombat, Madden NFL 15, and Lara Croft. Not even Tomb Raider, just Lara Croft.
No.
Got Far Cry 4 up here. Yep, we got the elephants, the Himalayas, the Sasquatch. I said no. That's a Sasquatch. The Abdominal Soul Man. That's what I mean. Metal Gear Solid 5, building bases and stealing goats. Oh man, my brother loved that game. Like he just played it again. Like, well, because he wanted to try to do 100% like months ago. Doom 4, a brief glimpse of a new reboot. Oh, which turned out to be just Doom, right?
Yeah, you're right. Doom 2016 or whatever. Or no, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because you gotta confuse it with the Doom. What's it, 93? Is it 93 the first one?
Yeah, 92, 93.
Game Informer. What we got here? Oh my goodness, we got a Xenomorph up here. And are they still called Xenomorphs when they're like the small little things that put the lay the eggs in you? Yeah.
I don't know. I always just hear them colloquially referred to as face huggers, but I don't think that's like proper genealogy of them.
That but yeah, man. And that's what I understand. Like, so these things lay face hugger eggs. Like when they lay eggs, they're face huggers.
I don't know how that works, honestly. I mean, there's a queen, so I'm guessing she would be responsible for those eggs. But yeah, I guess
so. The eggs are just the face huggers. Yeah, it's just the face huggers.
Yeah,
then the face
and then
huggers
they evolve into these things.
then the face huggers go on the humans and plant them because they don't go in them, right? They just implant them, and then they burst out the human and they turn into this.
Right.
That's a lot of shit for this goddamn evolution of this thing.
Deep lore, Dominic. Deep lore.
The horror issue featuring Alien Isolation and The Evil Within, plus our top 25 horror games of all time. I wonder where it was number one. What will be number one? For
Alien Isolation, because they got paid off. I kid. That was a good game though.
No, it probably was the Jason on Nintendo game.
Okay, so it is.
Gotta save those kids.
Adam's Family Fester's Quest, does that count as a horror game?
All right, so that's it for 2014. Now we go to 2004. We got EGM magazine, and I'm doing EGM, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you like this cover? Okay, the Scarface cover.
I figured we needed a couple of covers, and the other two didn't.
I feel like
do much anything for me.
This game came out around the same time. Actually, no, it was a year after, maybe. Actually, I mean, I don't know if it came out this year. This is just a preview, right? So it probably didn't come out this year.
Yeah.
Because a year before this though. A year or months. Maybe it was months, because I know I was in college. I think it was 2004. Around the early part of 2004, they brought back, it was an anniversary of Scarface, and they had like Scarface DVD came out. Mm-hmm. I know it was something like that, because that was like I just remember seeing commercials. I remember, because I watched it. Because that was the first time I ever watched it. I never watched it all the way through, ever. So then I borrowed somebody's Scarface, and I was like, yeah, let me go watch this movie. And I was like, oh yeah, it's all right. I said, oh, I didn't know he died at the end. But yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, he killed his friend, his sister's dead too, and what's going on? It's like, he's like, everybody's dying. And then when they said like this is Scarface game, I was like, oh, like how is that going to work? But what they did is change the ending. He survived, and you have to build your empire back up. So you were playing like Vice City, but with the Scarface skin.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it was.
Say you won't believe your eyes or your fucking ears, I guess is trying to say. The world's first bloody look inside. And not to be outdone, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They were not thinking about Scarface. I can tell you that right now. This game is huge. 150 plus hours. New screens and info inside. Also, 2 fast street racers. Need for Speed Underground 2 and Midnight Club 3. Those were 2 good racing games too. Yeah, this is what I like racing, man. Like, see, you got the Need for Speed Underground series. Midnight Club was doing good. Like, it really got it got better. Like 3, I think was the best out of the 2. That was the dub one.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about dub. I knew they had those magazines, but I knew that car looked good on the front, and those wheels were spinning. Too good. The big twos. Big updates on Halo 2 and Prince of Persia 2 and more. And they got some games down here, which is really small to see. Oh, X-Men Legends. I'm playing that kind of now. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Oddworld Stranger, Pikmin 2, Burnout 3, Star Ocean Till End of Time. Just came out with a remake. Is that coming out with a remake or it came out?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Beautiful Joe, Silent Hill 4, NASCAR 2005, Sly 2, and Sadeki. Wait a minute. They said, we mean... Wait a minute, what they say?
They said suck decky.
Suck decky. Oh, my God.
Got him. Got him, Dominic.
Yeah. Wow. Darn, somebody didn't pay them off. Revealed. First news on PlayStation 3. Oh, my God, Daniel, it's coming.
Yep.
All right, what else we got here? We got the Xbox magazine from 20 years ago. And we got Halo 2 was on the front.
Master Chief looking so cool. Chief.
Yeah, and you think you're a big shot? Halo 2, Doom 3, Black, and Pariah. Pariah, what was that?
I don't remember Pariah. Like, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember the game.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
I remember Black, though.
Yeah, I remember Black. I beat Black. I had borrowed that game, and it Black was all right. Black was all right. Okay, I remember the cover of Pariah.
Yeah,
look at it now. I
don't know anything about that game though.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it looks. For that time, it looks like an all right game from these screenshots.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a good game.
On myabandonware.com.
But I mean, the screenshots, it looks like a good game, and it looks like an alright game, like graphically for the 2004.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a good game or not. Actually, I can see right here. Nah, kind of average. 69 on PC, 70 on Xbox. It was it was just on the Xbox. It's too powerful for the PS2 again, or it was too bad. It was too bad for the PS2, as I would say.
Sure,
that's what I would say. I say it ain't no Killzone. But anyway, what else we got here? We got four future shooters that will blow you away. Never before released details inside. New technology, fresh futuristic action, taking story to an unreal new level.
And because they were on the Unreal Engine.
Need buy advice? Trust these reviews. Burnout 3, Silent Hill 4, Sadeki. They didn't call it Suckdeki. SRS.
They were fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Dead or Alive Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Beach volleyball. And then you have close. Well, I wish it was beach volleyball, but it's just Ultimate. But which is good. Because you get
still
bonus
had
games.
Bikinis.
Yeah, yes, they did. I mean, look at the fight they're showing you and the costumes.
That's what I'm saying.
It's close combat, first to fight, resonance, the bar's tail. Close combat, first to fight. What was that?
I have no idea.
That's a fuck up title. I mean, the title just seems like seems like they were describing Dead or Alive. Like first if okay.
Is that a Marines game?
Yeah, it looks like it's Marine propaganda. That's what it is.
It's like America's Army Marines.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, the fruit, the proud, the Marines. that's how it starts.
Yep,
and that's how it ends. Also,
oh no.
They got 69 on Xbox, 67 on PC. They are anti-American. It's just that the developers worked with more than 40 U.S. Marines to help make the game. Composer Tim Temple composed the game's soundtrack. Okay, I guess he's a good composer. I have no idea. The game was later ported to the Wii as Marines Modern Urban Combat. Goodness.
It's okay.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to get the Call of Duty something in there because come on, modern urban combat.
Modern urban combat.
Yeah, are you serious? And got there in the Wii, like how many more years later?
Exactly.
Like this is 2004. The Xbox 360 hasn't even come out yet.
That's great.
What else we have here? But that's it. Well, then again, I don't know when that came out because this is on the magazine. It came out 2005, April 6, 2005. But I don't. It never came on the. I don't see Xbox One unless they changed the name for that one too. All right. So what else we got here? Oh, it still came out before Xbox One came out because the Xbox One came out that fall that year. And I totally lost. I mean, because I don't got the page up. All right, so I'm getting here now. PSM, which is the unofficial PlayStation magazine.
Top selling number one, though.
Yes. And it has two guys on the front of here. We got Solid Snake. And actually, no, that's not Solid Snake. That's actually the
Big
first
Boss.
Snake. Yeah. Because that's for Metal Gear Solid 3, I want to say. And this is Dante, young Dante, for Devil May Cry 3, which was very, very good. It was my favorite action game. Then I played God of War, and that became my favorite action game. But yes, they got a fall game preview. So you got Metal Gear Solid 3, Devil May Cry 3, Mortal Kombat Deception, Gran Turismo 4, Need for Speed, Underground 2, Jack 3, Ratchet and Clank 3, they both came at the same year.
That's crazy.
That was the first time because they were coming every other year was one of them. Jack 3 came out November 9th of this year. Well, 2004. Mm-hmm. And Ratchet Clank 3 came out November 2nd, 2004.
Whoa.
This was a time where you could get games like that, I guess, and you couldn't eat yourself. I guess you couldn't. They both came out that year. That was a freaking crazy year. Wow. You can never do that. Or, well, you can, but it'll be stupid. I mean, maybe it was stupid then too. I have no idea.
$20 trillion on a game.
Yeah. Plus, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. Honestly, it's so then initially. I'm curious. But when we get there with those games, we'll talk about it. All right. But Prince of Persia 2, Midnight Club 2. Okay, what isn't a sequel that I'm saying? GoldenEye 2. GoldenEye 2.
Many more, Dominic. That's what.
Oh, many more, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. All of these are sequels.
Only new thing on here: Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, and then 13-page special feature, I guess, for all those fall games. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, of course, because that's coming. First look, crime in the country. I think that's coming next year, I want to say. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Let's see. October 26, 2004, Dominic. So it's coming up.
Oh, it came out this year. Darn.
Yep. And then PC, Xbox next year.
That's what it was. Yeah, my friend was saying, "Yeah, I got it." I said, "You're late. It's over. It's over. We're over this."
Now imagine saying that about Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh no, nah, that's different. That's a whole different story. Because of the online shit. Basically, I'm so behind. Technically,
yep, you were very behind.
Yeah. All right, so that is it for 2004. So now we're going to 1994 to GamePro, and we got Sonic the Hedgehog with Knuckles on the front for Sonic and Knuckles going after the Chaos Emerald, and a new way to play
Chaos
Sonic
Emerald
the
that
Hedgehog.
Contains Shaq, Dominic. It's captured him inside of it.
Shaquille O'Neal and Shaq Fu showing off here. Also, Virtual Fighter combos inside. You also got reviews of Troy Aikman NFL football. I did not know Troy Aikman had a football game.
Football. Yeah, I never heard of that.
Also got Vortex, Maximum
Ooh.
Carnage,
Yeah.
Dynamite Hitty. Oh,
Okay.
Dynamite! Dynamite Hitty, did they do a HD of that?
I want to say yes. I feel like I've heard about it talked more recently than I should have.
You just saw it on the
Maybe.
speed run. That's all.
Maybe that's what it was.
Stunt Race FX, Double Dragon 5, Virtual Bart. I play Virtual Bart. I sucked at it. Tasmania Devil, and Escape from Mars. And you got previews of Tommy the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. Yep, that was one of my favorite Sonic games on the Game Gear. I think Chaos is probably my favorite one. Also, Earthworm Jim. And then you have... I think that's it. I think I said everything. Yep.
Did you mention the strategy guide for Primal Rage?
No, I did not. Oh, yes. Primal Rage. That was the fighting game,
How'd you feel about Primal Rage, Dominic? I always thought it was super cool because it's got dinosaurs.
Yeah. As a kid, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty neat, too.
If I remember correctly.
I'm trying to think. I know you can eat the people.
Yeah.
That were on the stage, too. Did they ever make like a PlayStation version of that?
I don't think so.
Primal Rage. Yeah, like did they? Yeah, that just is that series that just didn't go anywhere.
I think so.
Didn't have those type of sequel.
I think there was a canceled Primal Rage 2. Because I feel like not that long ago that got out there like on the internet and people could play it.
Yeah.
A version based on arcade version 2.3 was included as part of the Midway Treasures 2. There was also an R-Zone version that plays the same as the Tiger handheld. Oh, there's a Tiger handheld version of this? Wow.
It said it was a controversy with this game.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You know the controversy?
I don't remember it fully, but I remember it kind of being a big deal because it was like, it was the next target after Mortal Kombat, basically.
Her 11-year-old son bought and played the Genesis version of Primal Rage and executed Chaos's urination fatality. The campaign resulted in... like, what do? You peed on somebody?
Yes.
Yeah, the campaign started Best Buy pulling the game from 251 stores nationwide. Wow, Best Buy.
That's why they went out of business. They couldn't handle it.
After how many years, Daniel? I mean, God damn. This was back in
Writing
94.
was on the wall then, Dominic. That's all I'm saying.
In response, Primal Rage publisher Tim Warner Interactive to point out that Revella never complained to Time Warner, instead taking the issue directly to the media, and that the game is clearly rated T for teen, so should not have been purchased by her 11-year-old son in the first place. See, games were rated then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Best Buys are stupid. They also resubmitted Primal Rage for evaluation.
The kid had a fake ID, Dominic. That's what it was.
Had nothing in it to merit an M rating or adult only. At this reevaluation, Best
now,
Buy
if you want to look at the ads, on the other hand, then we can talk, because I remember those being a little sexy.
Yeah. Cancel sequel. Yeah. Darn, Primal Rage. Yeah, that just seemed like a game that. Oh, well, Primal Rage, the avatars.
What?
When Primal Rage 2 was canceled, Atari allegedly deemed it necessary to somehow present the story for the sequel. Thus, in 1997, a novel called... Oh, it's a novel.
A novel.
Primal Rage, the avatars. God damn, man.
Glad someone's out there doing the important work.
That's sad that it just died that quickly. Like, it was fun.
I think that's the thing, though, Dominic. It was fine. It rested on the fact that it had dinosaurs.
Clay Fighters had a sequel, didn't it?
That's it. Yeah, there's 64 sequel. Clay Fighters 63 and a half.
Primal Rage. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, because I was like, because especially Genesis stuff. Like, oh man,
look, bring back that and Bloody Roar. That's all I'm asking for. And Darkstalkers, of course, but always.
You know how many other animals they could do now, man? I mean, it's amazing.
How many animals have gone extinct since that first game was released?
They can have the dodo bird.
Yeah.
All right. Where we at here? Sega Magazine. Well, Sega Visions, it's called. And they got Doom on the front.
Yeah.
For the 32X. Sega 32X. 32 bits of blood and guts. Look at that, man. Those high power. They look just like this. They look just like this. These cartoon on here. Darn, like seeing these monsters look the way they are looks weird. They look weird.
It really makes you wonder why they don't look like that in the new games, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, of course you're not gonna look nothing like that in your game, but darn, like I don't think these guys were there. I mean, I know what they're supposed to be in the game, but it's like they're like the pupils like this, and yeah, it's, yeah, well, whatever. What else we got up here? First peek at Sonic and Knuckles, revolutionary new technology. Look at that, the lock-on cartridge, Daniel. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Did they pioneer it, or did like the Game Genie pioneer that? Technically,
well, Game Genie I think did it first. I know that, but I mean, I never thought about a game being in a game.
Yeah,
I thought it was magic.
That's how did they not do that nowadays? I mean, I guess that's just DLC, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna sell a disc that you set on top of the disc that you have in the drive.
Yeah. That's what you do with the Final Fantasy, the latest one, the two discs. You put them together.
Yep. Sandwich them together.
All right, MTV. Tune in to The Rock. Monday, October 17th.
That's got to be better than Rockin' the Vote, at least, I guess.
$15,000 cash prize. That's $25,000 cash prize. That is equivalent to $1 billion today, people. They were giving.
Is this too early for Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Did I rock him?
Yeah, I think it's definitely too early. It's what, 1994?
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably was in. When did he graduate college? Or when did he leave? When did he leave football in college? Football. First look, the new game rating system, Daniel.
I think it's kind of cool that you just mentioned that, and here it is. That they have game ratings. It's kind of wild that there was a time before game ratings, because I don't really remember that. I remember game ratings very much being a thing.
Oh, I remember. See, I kind of do. I remember that before the game ratings, because I remember when they came out, how I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I said they got these things up here now that tell you.
The only time I really remember like interacting with them is like wanting to get maximum carnage, and my mother being like, I don't know about this.
Well, shit, my dad wouldn't give me Grand Theft Auto, man. And it wasn't because of the game ratings, because of the damn news.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I said, well, I'm just going to go shoot people then.
Oh, geez.
Until you give me the game.
How'd that work out for you? Did he just get you the game?
I got the game.
Oh, okay.
I got the game.
That's good. I gotta say, to Doomman's credit, I always thought it was funny that his abs were just out, but like on this cover, you can actually kind of see that it looks like his shirt is ripped underneath his armor. So there's a reason why his abs are exposed.
Well, okay. Yes, now I see it. Because I was very confused. I was just thinking like, nah, man, he loved to show his abs.
He's just got sexy armor like ladies do.
Look at these washboard abs right here, you aliens. Meanwhile, you're demons.
You demons.
Yeah, there's no aliens. There's no aliens in Doom. They're all actually demons from another portal, and a portal hell's on Mars for whatever reason. All right, so that's it for the flashback segment. So now we're gonna take a quick break. We'll get back. We get to the gaming news.
All right,
and we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got?
All right, there's not much in the way of gaming news this week, honestly, Dominic. There are some very large rumors starting to go around, though, following some of Ubisoft's financial issues as of late and the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's some talk around possible buyout by Tencent. I don't know about you, but that is not a good sign for me. Ubisoft is one of the few last big publishers, along with EA. Now
They
that
always come out on
Activision's
stage,
got gobbled up.
holding hands at the end
Yeah.
of their
What happened to
their
fighting off
conferences.
Vivendi? Now they're like welcoming Ubisoft or
But Vivendi wasn't
Tencent.
Chinese, right?
No,
So maybe they're okay with China, Daniel. Maybe
maybe.
they're part of they know what's coming. They know who's taking over. It's-
Yeah, I mean, I hated it. It's just we were pretty positive about the Microsoft thing, and like we've kind of had change of some feelings there.
yeah, I mean, just because of because
How
it's
they've
not they're
handled
not
it.
doing they're not that yeah how it's handled, and then that they're not doing what we want with
Yeah,
it.
they're
So
not
it's like it doesn't
benefiting
matter.
us. The whole reason we
Yeah,
were for it
yeah.
is because we thought
It's
it would
'cause of
benefit us,
benefit.
and it's not benefiting us. And
Yeah.
this, I just
So
don't really see any benefit to us.
at
So
all.
outside of like maybe Ubisoft not existing, if they don't get some sort of financial help or something like that.
Well, it'd benefit some people. They're going to take the black guy out of the Assassin's Creed
Oh
game.
God,
And,
no, they might.
they're gonna say no. You either have to be white or Asian. That is it.
It's definitely gonna be white, Dominic.
And get that woman out of here too.
Yep, they'll just turn her into a guy. Though.
If they know she's a concubine.
Oh jeez.
That's
Yeah,
it.
like this is disappointing news to hear. I mean, Ubisoft obviously has had a lot of troubles in the past couple of years, and obviously their management needs to change in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know that being bought out by Tencent is the way I want that to happen necessarily. So I'm apprehensively fearful of this actually coming to fruition. All right, Dominic. And then the other story I got here, which this is actual news, not rumors. Nintendo has shut down Ryujinx. That is the other emulator for the Nintendo Switch. Previously, they had gotten their hands on the other one and shut that down. And it seemed like Ryujinx was actually kind of getting away with it somehow. And apparently not. They have asked them to cease development on it, and they have obliged. There's some speculation that they may have gotten a payout as to shutting it down.
Which they
Others,
did.
I
That's good.
I hope they did. I mean, at least if they had to do that,
Yeah.
But also, like, they sold out on us, so like, screw them.
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's like I
reality-
don't blame. Well,
Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the reality is like emulation is not illegal, and the ROM and the software side of things is obviously a legal and moral
Yes,
gray
yeah.
area. But the fact that these people were able to provide a piece of software that allowed other people, and not even myself, because I don't have the hardware to run this stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, me neither. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. But allowed people to experience some of these games in a way that was better than on the original hardware. I think that's really cool. Obviously for a game preservation standpoint, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as part of the other half of this. But it allows games to exist past kind of their expiration date or the determined expiration date by these companies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's the thing. It's like, wow, these games they're looking better than. Well, see, the difference is like I'm used to like emulation happen later in the cycle of the consoles.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that this was occurring, much in the way that like Game Boy Advance stuff for me was, or even Game Boy. That stuff was basically day and date with when games would come out. You could play them on emulation, and that was really cool, honestly.
So but it's also telling like, man, your system is it's kind of aged, and I mean, I get it, aged fast because it wasn't that powerful to begin with, but it's like, man, they're showing that look, like these games, man, they can be played better, and like, hey, hurry up and get that new system out here, or at least work more like make the games a little bit better on yours, because that's like some of these things are seeming like excuses. Like they're not. I don't feel like some of those games should run that slow.
Yeah.
On there. That I feel like y'all could have did it, because I've seen it. I've seen y'all done it in certain games, and but it seemed like Pokemon. I feel like, man, y'all must have just
Yeah.
just been like went cheap on it, and I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, look, go after the people who did the wrongs, but you can't. Like the emulator stuff, I just feel like, man. I mean, look, unless they're doing something illegal that I just don't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they shouldn't be touched. It's like it shouldn't be touched. You just got look. You got, yeah. I get it. You have to stop the piracy, but that's the game. It's just like that's the whole thing. Like, look, people who go on pirate, then you just gotta go try to stop them. But as far as the emulators go, like, hey, that's not it. Like, cause it's not really. Yeah, you're not really stealing anything, really.
Yeah, as long as you aren't using their code or something
yeah.
like the other stuff may have allegedly been doing. Yeah, and the thing that really makes me sad about this is, yeah, like as we look towards the future and the game's preservation aspect of it, you know, this is going to cut development of this stuff off at its knees, basically. You know, we already had pretty advanced development for the emulation, and we would only get better emulation as time goes on, but now people have effectively, the top, you know, players at least have effectively stopped doing development on this stuff, and now it's just going to stagnate until maybe eventually somebody will get back into it because Nintendo will have shied away from the system. I mean,
And here's, yeah, yeah, but like sales wise, I just can't believe this was hurting it. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, I mean, especially
like,
when you look at the numbers for the Switch.
yeah, like I'm sorry, this was not hurting you. Like the it's a minuscule people who do this, and even, you know what? There's actually some people who do both. They buy the game because they still gotta take it places, and like, yeah, and then you might just say like, oh, what about the people who buy those handheld PCs? How many of those people are there? Like, first of all, how many of those people who bought the Steam Deck and the other ones, and then it's even smaller amount who actually uses emulation.
Yeah, because I mean, the emulation for those things wasn't even necessarily that great for the Switch anyway, because that software, you know, that hardware is not top tier, and some of that stuff just requires so much power. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I said, you know, it's cool to see those things perform at a better time. You know, I've experimented with this stuff a little bit, and I tried like Metroid Dread. I think that was cool that I could do it, but I also bought that game. I bought that game twice. You know, so like they got their money's worth out of me. They're not losing anything by allowing me to experience that. I do wonder how much of this kind of heavier hand that they've had recently has to do with the Switch 2 coming down the line soon with backwards compatibility potentially, and they're hoping maybe with that, the release of that, maybe they get more software sales, or they're just worried about somehow those two like bridging the gap of like making it easier for emulation to then be developed for the Switch 2. I wonder if there's some aspect of that. Yeah, because it just really sucks. But to kind of speak to their pettiness and their lack of care towards game preservation, there's a very good YouTube channel, Retro Game Core, who I watch quite frequently, actually. If there's anything like old game style or console related, I usually find one of their videos is kind of the top search result, and they're always something I enjoy watching. They've gotten copyright strikes now because they've included footage of a Nintendo game running via emulation on something. And because they've gotten 2 strikes, now they have to be very cautious about what they do, because a 3rd strike will just automatically shut their channel down, basically. And it's really kind of a crapshoot whether they have any sort of recourse there with YouTube. And part of it is one of their most recent videos before they took it down was kind of showing what you could do with a Wii U in 2024, which obviously Nintendo's not selling that hardware anymore. Nintendo doesn't have an online shop for that anymore. So what is their concern there? That they're not getting anything financially out of it. So how does that hurt you? You know, you're not making any money off the secondhand market that may still be selling those physical copies of games or those systems. Like, it's just, I don't know if this is one of those things where it's like, oh, well, we have to protect our intellectual property, otherwise we can lose it. But that doesn't really feel like that's the case with some guy making YouTube videos about how, you know, a very small portion of the audience may be able to exploit the hardware that exists, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just all whatever. I just miss the days of people able to get by on this stuff, like even like, oh yeah, you give me a strike, fuck you, and I'll just go somewhere else where you kind of have a hard time tracking me and still do something. Maybe I won't see a video, but it'll be up somewhere online. But this stuff is just ridiculous. I mean, it's all Nintendo's. It's their own doing of not making it so easy for these guys to. Man, she got some broad shoulders. That make it easy for these guys to like us to get these games. Like they didn't make just
play them.
They had like whenever the Wii came out till now to build an infrastructure where they can have their games from the past and present for us just to be able to get and play.
Easily like accessible.
I get it. I get it from third-party stuff. Yeah, whatever. But you had all this time to do something, to build a store or something where we can just get these games and we can play them and whatever.
And you even did that to an extent with the virtual console, and then you gave up on that concept.
It's so weird. It's just weird that you went away from that. You didn't build on it.
Yeah.
You didn't build on it. You just went away. It's just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it don't make any sense. Like, your thing would sell more. Like, if you done like anything like what Microsoft or PlayStation did with their Game Pass or whatever, or just have a storefront that's like with your stuff or something, it'll do a whole lot better than theirs. Like, you would kill them. I mean, I'm saying that you kill them. I mean, like, as sales wise, if you go by sales number wise, it'll be like, darn, like this Nintendo thing, man. People, it's like just selling like gangbusters.
Yeah.
It's like it's just doing ridiculous. And yeah, man, they just don't. Like, they just want to keep it the archaic way. Like, look, you buy a game, and that's it. And some people, I guess some people just want that simplicity and whatever. Just, hey, I just buy a game and I own it, and that's it. Like, look, hey, I wish it was like that too. Really, I mean, but I also want the option. Like, I wish I had the option. Like, hey, because there's so many games. Like, I'd rather have it like where I can try them. So I'll pay a monthly service or something. To try it. Or can your games please go on sale? Or something. You can't, because I don't want to. Because look, I'm not going to be paying. I'm not going to buy hundreds of games at $60 or $70. That's not going to happen. Like, the thing is, I can say a lot of games I played, but I also didn't pay for. I mean, hell, technically we've been borrowing games, man, since forever, because that's all I did with my Genesis, like when I was young. And stuff like that. Like, my parents weren't buying a shit ton of games. I think at the end of my Genesis life cycle, maybe 20 I owned. Maybe 20 games I owned, and all of them worked for a price when I got them. So but I played I play a whole lot more though because I borrow from Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
I borrow from friends. Like we borrow each other games. But yeah, like later on, when there was no Blockbuster or whatever, um, it was like I mean then like the Xbox. Oh man, but see, that's what games were going a lot cheaper too. It's like oh look, $20 now, this game. Okay, so PlayStation 2 is like hey, games go down to $20 after a year if they sell really well, or if they don't sell well, they go cheap too.
Yeah.
Or they become very hard to get and then they go up. But yeah, it was like it was these sales that would happen that would make it so that I could buy more games and but like the yeah also now money like because the economy is not as great and then the way things are like yeah I need those sales and like man there's no way in hell like these Nintendo games I just forget like I was like damn man I was like yo I want to play Luigi's Mansion like I want to but ain't no way in hell I'm paying full price for that game like I want to play that new Yoshi game or something like that
Mm-hmm.
I want to get Woolly World or something like I'm not paying that much for like that game.
No,
Like, so,
especially
what?
when we're talking about it being like 3 and 4 years old, you know?
Yeah,
It's just
I was
not how
like,
we buy games anymore.
no. If that game is that old and I see it for $60, I'm like, dude, ain't no way hell I'm paying $60 for this.
There's nothing
I mean,
incentivizing me to revisit that game when there's another new game coming out at $60 today and tomorrow and
I
every
mean,
day
you can
in the
say,
future.
yeah. See, that's the problem. It's like, see, the issue. See, some people will say that. Look, a good game is a good game, and that yes, that's true. But there's more games coming out every year. So
Yep.
the problem is, I don't have the money for that game anymore because now I'm like, either I'm going to pay $60 for that game, or I'm not buying a new game.
Yeah. And there's something to be said around the dialogue of a new game too, like wanting to talk about a new game with people who are playing it while while it's fresh in people's heads. Yeah.
And like we can't, because we can't all play them. But thing is, the whole thing is that I'm able. It's like, look, years later, I can still get a new game, and then I can spend half price or lower on this old game that was really good years ago. I was like, oh yeah. I got like I said, I got the new Grand Theft Auto, but also, hey, since I never got into maybe God of War, well, not God of War, but for Nintendo, it's like maybe I never got into the like Zelda, Breath of the Wild or something. And like say, hey, I'll buy it now. It's cheap as hell now. It was a great game. And just like, hey, I'll get it. It's on this sale or something like that, or I'll get the Mario or something like that. New Mario game or whatever. But it's like, dude, I'm spending it like you're not making it easy for me to get these games. Like this is very expensive. Like yes, overall, if you say well, it's an expensive hobby. Yeah, but it's just making it more expensive.
Right.
Doesn't mean it has to be. Yeah, that's all it is. It's an expensive hobby, but but you're making it so much more expensive when you don't need to. Like, what are you losing out or not, or dropping these prices? Like, I just feel like these games are so old, and like, because the people, because they talk about how some games just sell so much more when they go down in price, like even popular games or something like that. Like, come on, Grand Theft Auto's gone. It's not $60 anymore, but it still be selling a hell of a lot at like 20 or 30 or whatever, and it's like, why can't you, like, is it really, the sales really going to be that bad for you if you drop the price of like
Right.
like Mario Odyssey or something? Is it like, I don't know, it might peak because it might bring interest, say, hey, we got the sale on Mario Odyssey for $20 now. It's like, oh,
And where's the prestige of a player's choice? Like, I remember, like, obviously I wasn't like a huge fan of the yellow like stripe on it, but it was your way of like celebrating the fact that you sold like 1 million copies or whatever like that. You had this growing collection of games that you could offer at a discounted price because you had already sold the amount that you wanted or whatever. And now you get some more because people who wouldn't buy the game at $60 might now give it a chance.
Yeah, Nintendo, they just, I don't know.
I will say that might be collusion, Dominic. We need to look into that because all of these companies dropped that. All three of these big companies used to have their own banner, for high selling games.
Platinum was Xbox.
Greatest
And,
hits
yeah.
and player's choice. Yeah.
I think Xbox, did they have a Platinum for Xbox 360? Because they still had greatest hits on PlayStation, but that's when it was fading out.
Yeah. PlayStation 3 still had greatest hits. I don't
Yeah.
remember any platinums for the Xbox 360, honestly.
Yeah, so they must have dropped it. And players.
We had player's choice, right?
Okay. If it did, I know it had. Well, I don't. You know what? I don't think they did. I think they did. Later on, they had the
like upscaled things, like the Pikmin type thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was like I'm thinking about like it was like a border over it saying like it's a class. I don't know.
Nintendo Selects.
Select. And is that the stuff from GameCube? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of it was. Like the Pikmin 3, Mario Party 10, Wind Waker HD, Super Mario 3D World.
Who's this woman? And not the interviewer, but the
Liv Morgan.
WWE. Oh, that's Liv Morgan. That's her name.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Liv Morgan.
With the belt.
Yes.
And who's the guy with her?
That's Dominic Mysterio. He's Rey Mysterio's son. Despite the fact that he's very much doing like Eddie Guerrero cosplay right now.
yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of where my feelings are though, Dominic. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, then we'll get real quick into new releases here. First up, Starfield, the Shattered Space expansion that's now out on PC, Xbox. Have you heard anything about positive, negative about that yet?
I heard positive about it.
Nice.
It's just unfortunate. I wish it was free with Game Pass.
Yeah, that's still kind of how they get you, right? Is like, we'll give you the base game, but, when stuff like this comes out.
What? I still haven't beat the base game yet, so you know what? I still got plenty of time.
Do you think something like this gets a Game Pass, or is this? We'll give you a discount for Game Pass, but we're never just going to give it to you.
Yeah, I think it should be a discount. That's it.
Gotcha.
Because I don't remember them ever doing it for the whatchamacallit, Outer Worlds. Yeah, that all their DLC is still you have to pay for.
I mean, maybe because didn't they eventually do the the special edition of that one? I could maybe see like eventually they do a Starfield Game of the Year edition, even though it wasn't anybody's Game of the Year.
But they'll just be cheaper. It wasn't like the special edition of that wasn't a Game Pass game.
Oh, it never was. Okay.
No.
I think I got that on like Epic Store like not that long ago. Actually.
Yeah, Epic Store. Yeah, they did. They had like a free thing.
Gotcha. All right. We've also got Predator Hunting Grounds. Somehow, Dominic, I could have
7 out of 10 on IGN. I know 7.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shattered Space. Let me see. I'm gonna see some other reviews
for Shattered Space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expansion isn't weird enough. Okay, maybe. Is
that a Kotaku headline?
Let me see what. That's a Verge.
Okay.
One,
that also seems on brand, sure.
They gave. Oh, never mind. Maybe I was just looking at one guy's thing, and apparently he's not speak for all the game industry. I'm seeing PC Gamer gave it a 60. RCF Tech, where they hope they do numbers. 6. Yeah, okay. It's not great. Not horrible, but not just like pretty mediocre. It
sounds like maybe around what the reviews for the original game were getting, kind of a mixed bag of some people are kind of into it and some people are kind of.
I don't know. These people seem more consistent. That was just a fan I was looking at. Yeah.
Oh.
They seem more consistent.
Disappointing.
Yeah. What's Game Rank give it? The game not even do numbers? I don't think they do.
Say mostly negative on Steam, but I don't feel like I can trust Steam reviews as
Yeah.
People have too many grievances on there, sometimes
really
that are
do.
not relevent to my feelings towards the game.
She didn't call me.
Exactly.
It's like,
All right. Yeah. I mentioned Predator Hunting Grounds. That's out now on PS5, Xbox Series X. This is a game that I could have swore it came out like 5 years ago because I just confused this with the Jason game and the Freddy game and the Dead by Daylight game. I feel like any interest in a Predator game, Dominic?
didn't we already have one?
That's what I thought. Like, I feel like I'm confusing this with.
Yeah, I was about to say we had the one that was supposed to be like Jason and something like it was supposed to be 5v1 or.
Yeah, I mean that's what this is too. Like it.
Wait a minute. Is this the game I'm talking about then? Because I thought it already came out.
Because this came out in 2020. Maybe. Okay, it's just coming out on PS5 and Series now. So I guess that game's still going. I thought that game kind of died.
Well, I mean, just maybe nobody we know talks about it. But yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
You know what? I thought Nia Jax was white. White.
No, she's Rock's cousin.
Yeah. Oh, she is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, I think you did tell me that. I think you did. Well, to be honest with you, I thought Rock was white. All right.
How dare you? Yeah. He will say otherwise in a documentary.
Yeah. He's a person of
Vince
color.
McMahon.
He's a person of color.
That's
what he said.
Out.
He said
yes.
And you know what? And I said, thank you for not saying black. because, man, I'd rather you say some more than you say you black.
All right. Next up, we got SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game. That's out on basically everything. It sounds like that's not particularly good either. I saw an IGN review of it that was like a 5, which, I mean, I don't know that I was expecting much out of it, but it looked like it could be a kind of fun sandbox thing. And it sounds like maybe it doesn't even necessarily live up to that.
Oh, what's this game again?
The SpongeBob game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then we got
Patrick Cesar,
Until Dawn, the remake that's out now on PC and PS5, and it seems like that's kind of a little all over the place too. People are reviewing that a little lower than I was necessarily expecting it to.
Like why? Like what is it?
I saw some complaints about it not running as well, and some of the models not being particularly great for what is being branded as a remake. What's that?
It wasn't meant to look that good. That's why.
That's why they're supposed to put the extra work in and make new models. That's why it's a remake, not a remaster, Dominic. So that's disappointing because that original game is really cool, and I would like the latest version of that game to be the best version of that game. And if that's not necessarily the case, that is unfortunate.
Okay, what belt does that other woman have? She got the WWE Women's Championship.
So they're just showing clips of Bailey from the past.
Oh, but no, I'm talking about.
So Nia has the SmackDown one. Liv has the Raw one.
Okay.
So it is the WWE Women's Championship that Nia has, and then the Women's World Championship that Liv has.
He's still doing that.
Yeah, they're still doing that. They got that with the men too. They even have that with the tag team titles as well.
See, I left before they had 2 belts.
Yeah.
It was the only 2 belts were there, and I think I was there when they got rid of it. Was the WCW Championship belt?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the only 2 belt. I wasn't there when they did WWE. Like SmackDown and Raw, and my friend was still watching because I think he told me, say, oh, they doing this and they do this the draft, and I was like, oh, okay, and see, so I missed John Cena and that. Like I was John Cena, he wasn't. If he was there, he was a low guy that I didn't pay attention to.
Yeah,
I definitely ain't seen no rapping white dude. I can tell you that right now. I ain't seen no rapping white dude. And when I saw that part, the Man series. When I saw that part of it, I was like, "Oh man, I'm so glad I was out of wrestling by then," because I think that would have done it for me. I think I would have been done. It's funny how people like this. Like, those white people probably liked it.
Oh, we liked
it because
I say we, but I wasn't watching it at that time either.
Yeah, you wasn't watching it then. Because I was like, because that would have killed it for me. That would have been like, oh, over. I mean, no offense. I mean, look, man, he's cool. I mean, I could see maybe me in the deep past, like in the 90s, like if some dude do that, and because I didn't hate Vanilla Ice, but I can't. I know if he was there when in my high school years when I was watching wrestling, I would have been done.
Yeah.
I would have been done with that guy. I mean, I like John Cena, but that whole rapping stuff, I was like, nah, not for me. But it was something else I saw that I forgot to mention, but I just had to talk about next week. I forgot, but I think it's actually something I played. Darn, because we was talking about this game. We were talking about you mentioned. Oh, it was the that puzzle plush Tetris game that was on Game Pass.
All you need is help.
Yeah, and I do need help because I don't think you can play this game with just one person.
Right.
Man. I mean you can go and try to excuse me, team up with somebody online. I did get in, and it looks like the guy probably fell asleep at his console because his character was asleep, wasn't moving. And you had to have 4 people though, because we were waiting. Wow. And I was like, oh man, and I'm late at night, and I was like, nah. I said, oh, I thought it was. I said, well, it's not a whole bunch of people playing right now, so obviously, maybe I tried doing a day sometime or a busy weekend night.
Yeah, geez, that's a lot.
Because I was like, darn. I said, this is a cool concept, but is reliant on the people, and I get it, because I don't know how would you do the computer. Computer would just be right, unless you make them stupid, and just make them stupid where they just go on. So it kind of sucks, but I mean, I guess if you find people to play with on that and get somebody to play with, hey, glad it's free, it's free,
absolutely.
So that's the good thing.
And it's good for them too, because that way they have the chance to have more people play it. Because if you gotta have all 4 of your friends playing that game or buying that game, then it's even less likely that it's. What is
that bruise on that guy? Like, what the hell?
Where?
It was Cody Rhodes having a bruise on his.
Did they show his? He tore. You're ahead of me now. He tore his pec.
Oh. And
his whole.
He tore his. I had that problem too when I'm flexing.
People were shocked by that because that's what it looked like.
Showing like some highlights of King of the Ring. I say King of the Ring. It means Hell in a Cell. All right, so I guess we can end this.
Yep. Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out.
They put his real name.
Who's my God? Whose real name?
Triple H's.
Oh, did they pull Paul Levesque on it?
Yeah.
And it's so weird at the end of like SmackDown now, instead of just like the little WWE logo at the bottom, it'll pop up like center screen like writers or executive producer Paul Levesque, and it's like, what kind of like weird sitcom thing is this now? Okay, so thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our praise podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, 1, 2.